So uncivilized.
And I didn't even take the banner down. Ain't that a dag-on shame? Greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Band. Probably presents another episode of, you know what it is, man. This is Uncivilized Scoundrels. We are back for episode, This is 62, I believe. So glad to have you guys here with us. Do us a favor while you're in here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you're always up to date as to what we got going on over here on the channel. As always, man, definitely we got lots to talk about, some great things to talk about. We got season 2 of Andor, and man, let me just say this off the top. I am not supposed to like Deidre Merrill. I'm not supposed to like this woman, but she quickly grew on me with one episode, and I love her. I love her. She's evil, but I love her, bro. And we're not supposed to, but we're gonna get into that in just a few moments here. Let me bring in this amazing panel. And ladies and gentlemen, I got one person here who's near and dear to my heart. And I know everybody out there, like, listening, you haven't seen her in a while. You haven't seen her in some time. I haven't seen that hair, that lovely hair below, in such a long time. But she is here. Even Vinny was like, yo, where's she at, man? Like, Vinny, she's back. Vinny, we got
is she back
in the building. Is it her or is it AI? That's what we got to think. Is it her or is it AI? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody out there in the Star Wars universe, the original matriarch of the show is in the building. We got back in the building, y'all. How are you? How are you doing today?
I am well. It's such a pleasure to be here with you all. I'm doing great. I'm always happy to talk some Star Wars, but just so happy to see all of you again.
Yes, we are so glad to have you in here. You've been I was like, yo, the bounty hunter's got her, bro. She's frozen in carbonite right now, man. She's been gone for a minute. They got her, bro. They got her. She's gone, but she is definitely back here with us. I know everybody is excited to see you here with us, man. We are so glad to have you. How have you been on your journeys?
It's been a busy journey, and the world is still keeping me busy. But just I look so forward to coming on the show and speaking with you guys and talking some Star Wars stuff.
Yes,
it's a lot to talk about. I'm in my wedding. I'm in my party frock because I just saw the coolest wedding I've ever seen in Star Wars. There was no wedding. This one was all out there, and people were down in it, and there were all sorts of intrigue and everything. Is so much to talk about. Thank you, Star Wars, for
We are definitely going to dive into it right off the rip because I never thought that I was going to love an EDM wedding, but I was like, yo, bro, I was like, yo, I was playing that back. I heard that. I was like, okay, we are here. And then to see Mon Mothma getting loose, I was like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
If anybody deserves to cut a little loose, it's Mon Mothma for what she's had to put up with. Through Imperial overreach, through everything, throughout the end of the day. My goodness gracious, this poor lady. She needs to cut loose. I just hope the next episode isn't her ending up like waking up in someone's bed that she doesn't know. Or
She's waking up out of her actual bed.
Yo, with her like nursing a hangover. It's like, okay, she's still hungover. It's okay.
But I had dressing gold for the occasion. It's a party, so I am ready to go. That they call me to Chandrila or Coruscant, I am out there on the next transport.
Yes, so glad to actually have you here back with us. We got Benjamin E. Green was like, wonderful surprise. Definitely, you already know how it is. Hey, yo, if she winds up listen, if she winds up in anybody's room.
Scandal.
Yep. Waking up with from that hangover, with a little bit of the hair that you bought that bit you. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Hair of the Wookiee. I love
it. Bit of spotska on the side, some blue milk. Okay, you spike it.
Blue milk, you be all right.
What do you think that they drink, whatever that is,
right? Yeah, you already know, man. It was such a great episode. But V, how you doing, man?
Man, I can't wait to dive in. It was I felt spoiled like three eps off the rip. That was just phenomenal the way it started off. So I can't wait to dive in and talk about it. There's so much to get into, so I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And you probably haven't met him yet. This is Press X to continue in the building. So everybody pull out your PlayStation controllers, press X, continue. We got him in the building. What's going on with you, man?
Hello there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to finally meet you. When I saw you, I'm like, I remember you because I used to, when I watched the show back in the day, I'm like, oh my gosh. So seeing it's like it's a fun little reunion here.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Except I was never there to begin with. But oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's you, and you're like, yes.
When you hear your family.
Mm-hmm. It's just like the Olive Garden. I love it. It's just and there's unlimited breadsticks. I love it. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man.
There's a lot of excitement. I mean, I'm not even gonna try. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, bro. Nice.
I just tried to mumble through it.
Yeah.
We got that. We got you back. We got Andor back. We got lots to talk about, lots to look forward to, and I'm excited to get into it. All the Wookiees, just lay them on me. Let's do it.
Let's go, bro. Let's go, man.
Pour some Andor.
Sigrona.
Sigrona, bro. That's what they were talking about.
Sigrona Tima.
Bro, like I honestly literally watching it because I watched the last episode. And I watched it I watched all three of them 3 times because I had time to do it. Yeah. But bro, literally seeing Mon Mothma like that, bro. And we got a hint of it in the trailers. Vinny, you never saw the trailers, but what you saw in this particular episode was from the trailer.
Okay,
bro. Listen, if you would have asked me years ago, bro, when we got the prequel episodes, and she was there. Vivian, she played Mon Mothma in the prequels. Yeah. And it's she doesn't age. This woman doesn't age at all, bro. But it makes me regret the simple fact that, and it makes me kind of mad that they didn't give her more lines from the prequel, that she didn't have more to do in the prequels because she is a phenomenal actress, bro.
Yeah, I'm not sure they knew what they had.
They evidently, but Gilroy did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, he gets the best out of his actors.
Yeah.
And he puts them in the right place, gives them the right dialogue, and just lets them just cook.
Bro, she's been cooking, bro, and just the pure sadness, and she's definitely giving an Emmy award-winning performance. She is, bro. And with these 3 episodes, what I loved about it is Bix, her, Deidre Merrill, Mon Mothma, all 3 of them got a chance to shine. You know what I mean? In such a way that was incredible. We've seen Andor become more, and he's in his zone right now, but he's becoming more of a Luthen character. He's accepting this space now, and he's evolving. The evolution in this series is incredible, bro. But I love that they're pushing those buttons. We're going to talk about it. We're going to definitely dive into it because we got lots to talk about. But it's been phenomenal. And here's the thing, and I will say this, and I'll move on, and we'll get to the chat and all that. Remember, like when Andor season 1 started, it was a slow burn in the very beginning. Like I don't know what people are expecting this to be like bang from the. It was a slow burn. Like you had to basically again. It took a while for us to catch up to it. And
although this did start off with a bang, I will say this episode 1 of season 2.
Yeah, this was far more intense than episode 1 of season 1.
What, Mark P, where were you? We started. We did the music. We did. Okay. He's doing it on purpose.
That's a trick. He just wants you to play it again.
I know, bro.
Jedi mind trick.
Listen,
he's using an old Jedi mind trick.
Let's play it one more time.
Don't work on me.
We'll play it one more time. Here we go. One last time.
So uncivilized.
Mark P, you thought you was slick as shit. You know you did that shit on purpose. You thought you was slick. So there you go. X, just know that every time there's a show, they're going to ask us to play that shit several times, bro. During the show.
Just play it, just roll it, just roll it.
And they've evolved. Now they don't have to play it. They try to trick him.
They trick you into doing this.
See, now we need that little DJ ball. You know,
it was a glitch. It didn't play, so you got to hit it again. It didn't work.
He said, "Peace in the galaxy."
He didn't even deny it.
He definitely didn't deny it. Anyway, before we get to the chat, first off, gotta say what's up to the places where we get most of these collectibles, these figures from, and everything that we do within the community. Starting off with my man Ray over there at Hawkwarts Toys. I'm sorry, Underground Figures, because there's 2 Rays. We got my man Ray over there at Underground Figures. Again, no NRD. Shipping and handling is definitely reasonable. Sign up for that newsletter so you are always up to date as to when your figure is going to arrive or a new figure is being revealed. On top of that, make sure if you haven't already, create yourself an account, because you never know when he might actually have a deal on free shipping or even a discount on the figure of choice that you're looking for. So definitely sign up. They'll send you, tell him I sent you, and he definitely got you back. Also, we got to give a shout out to our guy Ray over there at Hawkwarts Toys, Hawkwarts Ray. If you're looking for the latest and greatest, he got it for you. Again, nice little figure, comic books, stickers, care packages, always on point. Hit him up, and he'll definitely take care of you and make sure that you have everything that you need to proceed, because that's what Ray does. He is always on point, and he'll keep you laced with everything that you want. Also, we got to give a shout out to our guy Jacob over there at Comic Relief Comic Collectibles. Again, not just about the figures itself, but also physical media, comics, and especially if you want source material, he got it for you. So hit him up. Store hours are there, phone numbers there, email is there. He'll make sure that you have everything that you need. Also, we want to give a shout out to our guy Brian Wong over there at ModuCase, ModuSpace. If you were looking for an incredible display, he'll make sure that you have everything as well. I got the mono, but he has different options for you as always. And last but not least, got to give a shout out to Vinny over there at Vincent Dunn Art. As you can see, got the Boba Fett on deck. If you were looking for art prints, anything, especially if you're looking for originals, and we're talking about original ideas, original pieces out there, hit him up. He'll definitely take care of you. As you can see, got a plethora of different options there, Star Wars related, and we got Ahsoka here as well. So if you want your own specialized piece, if you want, and on top of that, he does do commission work as well. But if you're looking for prints, he got you. I mean, oversell, man. You can sell it yourself. And you got anything you want to say about the store, bro?
No, I appreciate your love, man. You can link to my store at Vincent on Art on my IG, and has a link there. And feel free to hit up the site and peruse as you will. Buy 2 get 1 free at all times on regular prints. And if there's something that you want, you don't see, just hit me up. Commission's open. That's it. Let the work speak for itself. Shoot on over there and check it out.
Hell yeah, man. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. As always, And Dell A, thank you for coming through. He said, Lael, I'm homesick with a cold, but had to get up and groove with the intro replay.
Antidote. The
It's
antidote.
the antidote, bro. It's the medicine. It is definitely the medicine, man. So definitely appreciate you, bro, for stopping through. We got my man Benjamin E. Green, Uncivilized Scoundrels. You already know what it is, bro. We are back in full effect, and we got lots to cover as always, man. Let me see who we actually got in the chat with us. Of course, we got Benjamin E. Green. We got Chuck G in the building. Thank you for being here. S. Beam is in the building. Thank you for being here. We got Dell A. We got Malika Mabane, WRNR, Real Negro Radio in the building. Thank you for being here, brother, as always. Who else do we have out there with us? We got Blue Tattoo is in the building. Thank you for being here, brother, as always. We got my man Beat Legend is in the building. What's going on with you, brother? Thank you for being here as always. Who else? We got Mark Lee is in the building. What's up with you, brother? Thank you for being here as always, man. Who else? We got Amber May is in the building as always. The conniving Mark P is in the building, brother. As always, we definitely appreciate having you here, man. And we got Uncle Keith in the building. It's gonna have Vinny. What's going on? We got Spice Runner. What's going on, suckers? Is in the building. Thank you for being here as always. And we got Bob Dylan. It's almost Friday, folks. Thank goodness, bro. You already know, man. Straight up, you already know what time it is, man. We got Ghetto Yoda in the building. Wills 305 is in here with us. Edar is in here with us, man. So definitely, we got some things to talk about. Now, Star Wars Celebration was last week. So again, we got some announcements of a couple of different things. And we already talked about this last week. We talked about the Star Wars Starfighter. We didn't really get a chance to talk to you about it. Got more information about the synopsis of the film. I'm not really going to talk about it in detail because, you know, Vinny is here. You know, Vinny don't like to be spoiled. He want to see the plot himself. But what do you think about the you know, the newly or now that we have someone else that's entering the Star Wars universe, such as what is his name? Ryan Gosling is actually going to be starring in this film. What did you think about that?
Well, I think it's a breath of fresh air, and it almost feels like they're picking up on that movie they were supposed to be making with it was supposed to be inspired by that woman's father who was a pilot.
Yeah.
A little bit of that momentum.
Like Rogue Squadron, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping it'll have that kind of a feel because we all were so excited about that at that time. And then, you know, we didn't get that and it kind of felt like we were let down. But I think that a lot of people will be very interested in that. If he can put off that persona in the film, I think it could be a huge advantage because it needs something, you know, like we need something. And I think that the franchise needs something like this.
Yeah.
And it's just fun, the notion of someone being able to kind of take on this role. I think that he can provide something that, you know, we want to see these other characters sometimes. So if he can do this and it's just, let's say, focusing just more on using not using the Force necessarily. There's nothing wrong with it, but I would like to see a regular person kind of hop in there. I don't know much about what the character is supposed to be like, but I don't mind seeing, you know, a pilot, you know, kick some butt in the universe. I mean, it'll look cool. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and again, like I said, they're calling it Starfighter, so of course, with him, it just kind of feels like he's going to be like a pilot type of character, you know, that you know kind of plays a role in the bigger scheme. Now they did say that this takes place 5 years after Exegol. You know, that everything that we actually got from you know Rise of, was it Rise of Skywalker, whatever?
Yeah.
So everything that we actually got from that film, you know, even though I know my feelings about it, it's anyway. But it's 5 years after that particular film. So how they're going to tie this in together, because again, they said that this is going to be its own thing. It's a standalone, but it does tie in after that, you know, in between the sequel and what we're supposed to be getting with the you know, of the new order, the new Jedi Order film with Rey. So again, it's going to be interesting to see where this kind of falls in line, but there are definitely some new details about this. You know, Vinny, you talked or X, you talked about this last week as well. Like it's Ryan Gosling, so you know it's somebody that's new, and they're trying to put butts in the seats. And hopefully this does get off the ground. And they're talking about it's going to be going in production. You know, I think next fall, I believe. Getting ready for that slate. I think what 2027 or is it 2026 or 2027? I'm not sure. I can't remember. What the release date is.
Imagining the beginning of Drive, but like in Starship.
Right?
Remember, like on a getaway car from the bank, and he just didn't say shit.
Yeah.
I want Ryan Gosling in space. I want there to be dog fights. I need dog fights. You know, if you're gonna put him in an X-wing, where are my dog fights? It's space.
Yeah. X-wings, TIE fighters. I want all that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I want all out war. I want him again. If they give us like a Top Gun in space, I'm all about that. You know what I mean? Like let's make something like that happen as long as you can actually pull it off. So I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm in on it as long as it's good, but as long as the fans give it space to breathe, because that's what we need. We need it to breathe.
I like what Ghetto Yoda said, and I was kind of thinking about this, but I would love if Ana de Armas, if they could pull her in just like with Blade Runner 2049 or whatever 49 it was. That was fantastic, and it would be great to have something unique like that. If they could pull in Anna, we'd be very, very lucky.
You put Ana de Armas in anything, and I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. If you bring her in this universe, I'm in right off the rip. If she was able to basically, if you brought her in, because I was like even saying like I can see her even playing Bastila Shan.
Yes.
I can basically see her as a Bastila Shan character because I think that she can give it that space. Want to give a special shout out and happy birthday to Ren's talent, Tino, as today is his birthday. So definitely want to give him a shout out. He said just passing through. Haven't seen Andor yet. So yeah, man. I mean, bruh, you got to watch it, man. You definitely got to get a chance to watch it, Renz. You won't be disappointed. It is, definitely excellent. Excellent. I know we talked about this though also last week, Vinny. We like I said, there's new details. I'm not going to go into it so much. But what are have your feelings since you had a chance to kind of sit with this a little bit?
Oh, I'm good with it. I feel like I still feel like it's an odd choice of names because Starfighter means so much to me from Last Starfighter, but I understand that is something that wasn't exactly mainstream even for our generation. It was something that's more of a niche or a cult classic. But as far as the premise itself, it's on paper it's looks nothing but good. Like you're out of the window of the Skywalker family, so you have more freedom to move how you want to move with storytelling elements without the baggage, if you will, of having to do certain things otherwise pissing fans off. I feel like that was a big part of the problems that they have with the sequels, because it's difficult to juggle old and new school at the same time, and it wasn't the way a lot of people wanted to see the old school handled. So they don't have that problem this time. So we get to see new Star Wars content and with kind of one of the few. I don't want to say you can't miss, but Gosling has a very strong track record. Usually the movies that he's in that haven't done well aren't his fault, and most of the movies that have done well that he's in is due to his popularity and likability. He's a very popular actor, and he has a lot of range. He's not the most charismatic actor, but that's kind of because of the roles that he's been put in. He's done some work recently that's been more charismatic, and he's been kind of stretching his wings a little bit. I've always enjoyed his films. He has some of my all-time favorites. Like I joked about Drive before, but I truly think that's one of the most special movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
it's a masterpiece in my opinion. So seeing him in a Star Wars project is pretty amazing. So
Yeah.
I like the timeline. I like who they've got to lead this thing, and hopefully they, again, like I said last week, hopefully they just shut down social media and just go forward with what they creatively do.
Exactly.
It's good content. I don't want them leaking stuff out to see how we feel about it. I don't want them doing I don't want them doing movies the way movies are made. Like I don't want movies made for TikTok reels or memes or shorts. I want them to just focus on putting out a strong, cohesive story with amazing, writing and amazing special effects and amazing pacing, stuff that they're supposed to be doing, and not worrying about will we like it or not? Will it check off the right demographics? Will it track well with this group? Will it track well with that group? Do we have to here's something for these people? Here's something for those. Write a dope story, and if it all in any of those things fit, great. If they don't force it. So I want them to just work on just making a great story, and I just feel like I want the creatives to be in charge of this one instead of the suits and the the surveyors and the marketing team. I want the creatives to film, not the marketing team.
Word.
That's pushing comes to the marketing people instead of the creatives. So.
Gotcha, bro. We got my daughter. She's actually watching. She's actually here from the States. She's they're in New York right now. But they'll, like I said, I came back here. They're going to be making a trip up here tomorrow, and then we're going to all go back together. So I can't wait.
Hey, Autumn.
Autumn's watching, so she's definitely watching us right now. So hey, baby girl, she's going to be on with me tomorrow night on Figure Flex Friday. So she can't wait for that. So I can't wait. Yeah, she said hello. And also we got Ghetto Yoda. He was like, so basically what you're saying is you want more Andor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You already know.
I want to hear the name Skywalker. I don't want to see anyone use the Force. Just step away from it for a moment. We can come back to it later. But
we can step away from it. We got a chance to basically do that. So I'm excited about that, man. I think they're gonna nail it. Like you said, with this movie. X, like you said, look, Ryan Gosling, Starfighter, let's go. I mean, let's go. Like, what else do we need? Other than that, I mean, it's we want to see him in the cockpit. We want to basically see him doing what he needs to do. So let's make that happen. Next up, though, I want to talk about this real quick because we did get this right here. It kind of warms my heart. I mean, it is kind of somber that we, definitely did lose a person, but we did gain another individual who's just as talented. So we know we got Rory McCann, who's actually going to be taking over as Baylan Skoll for Ahsoka. And these are pictures that they basically showed of him at Star Wars Celebration, how he's going to look. And again, if you don't know who Rory McCann is, then obviously you've never watched, you know what I mean?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. You never basically watched that, of course. And he was incredible as always, in that show as well. So it's going to be different to see how he's going to tone down himself to be more of a Baylan Skoll, and again, both him and Ray Stevenson were friends. And that's the crazy part. So to see this, that change of guard is him taking over as his character it's really, really cool to kind of see. What do you think about this replacement for Baylan?
I think it's a great choice. I know that we all talked about kind of like our dream choices of who could replace the guy who played in, I can't remember his name just now.
Ray Stevens,
yeah, and he's a hard act to follow. Like you can't, it's not like you're just going to jump right back into it. So this character will have a different feel. It's not going to be the same experience I think we had in Ahsoka season 1. And that's okay. That it was I think for anybody who can make an impression like that after just one season, certainly shows that they have incredible acting ability.
Yeah.
But I think this gentleman is going to be fantastic. We're still going to enjoy it. It is going to be a different feel, though. I wonder if he's going to have the same chemistry with the lady who's supposed to be his protege, I guess, or was his protege.
Yeah, Shinhati. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what happens there going forward. And honestly, him with all the other characters, because he's kind of in there now, isn't he? Even though I'm not even quite sure what side he's on, but let's just say, regardless of what side he's on, he's part of the mix now. And I can't imagine this series without him, to be honest.
Yeah. Truth. Definitely truth. X, what's your thoughts on this replacement, man?
Well, I'm just glad that we're able to continue his story, because his part of season 1 that it was a big question mark. You wanted to know more about what his goals, what drives this person, but also by the end of it, you're like, oh, I think I know, or at least have an idea of what this person is after. And if that's the direction we're going, and we're going to bring that, the Mortis aspect of this into live action, then that gets me really excited, because the character was very stoic. Ray Stevens did an amazing job with it, and it was so sad to think that there was a possibility that they would just not complete his story, the character of Balin Skull. And to see that, no, they actually are going to, continue his story in season 2. I can't wait to see, where they take it. I'm sure we're going to see, well, I'm hoping we'll see perhaps a few flashbacks, considering his time at the Jedi Temple
Academy, the Jedi Temple,
just seeing, maybe some Clone Wars flashbacks, because they love doing their Clone Wars flashbacks. So if we get more of those, then maybe we'll see Balin Skull on the battlefield as well, not outside of the realm of possibilities. So just seeing what he's after, because we really don't fully understand what his angle is, but we want to know, and I think this is going to deliver on it.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. Like, it's, somebody said that, he did what Star Wars did, what Marvel couldn't when it came to T'Challa. I think, and here's the thing, bro. Like, with this, especially with Rory taking over for Ray Stevens, I think that you introduce a character like that, and he was in depth, like really an interesting character. How he played it, how Ray Stevens played that character, it made it so interesting, because we were not just following, the journey of Ahsoka and Sabine. We weren't just following the journey of, Thrawn and where he was, again, how his manipulating but strategic tactics, got him off of Peridea. We're also we want to know, what is Balin's goal? What is calling to him? You know what I mean? What is it that he believes can change the tide and reset everything? You know what I mean? Because something's definitely been calling out to him, and it's been enticing. And there's some thoughts about who it could be, but to see Rory play this is Vinny, we know him from Game of Thrones, and this motherfucker was a beast, bro. You know what I mean? Like, no nonsense. So to see his portrayal of Balin is definitely going to be an interesting thing.
I'll tell you this: we'll probably get a lot less C-bombs.
Yeah,
that's gonna be different. A little bit less tolerated with the mouse, but he was, one of the very, very unique additions with Game of Thrones, because he was, just a monster, physically, just huge presence, but at the same time was just as funny as any comedic actor, and intelligent, and he had just so much going for him and made him such an interesting character, and he played off of another smaller female character very well with Arya, so this would probably be a decent fit for him. But all that said, it's definitely going to be a hurt piece that we couldn't get Ray back for this, because he had such a and it's so funny because this man has been in so many great things, but yet somehow it feels like this was going to have been a breakout role for him because like
Yeah.
people instantly he
Gravitated,
instantly reached a whole new generation of people, and there's a lot of people who will know him from Ahsoka more than Punisher or any of the hundreds of things he's been in before. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes somebody just catches lightning in the bottle, and I feel like that's what that role was for Ray. But
Yeah.
I'm glad though that like Darren said, man, I'm glad that they did not shy away from the the role because of the tragedy. Like it was a loss, but Hollywood has weird history with being unpredictable. When there is a death of an actor in an ongoing series, you never quite know how they will react, what they will do, how they will worry about being respectful, or if they there's so many different I'm sure there's tons of meetings and decisions about it, but when it comes to a character who's going to be in such a role that's as important as the role that we're all assuming is going to be leading up to like X said, one of the big untapped in live action stories that we might be getting, I'm glad they decided that that was important enough to risk any kind of insensitivity by recasting him and continuing on with the story, because it just was that important. And I'm sure they feel that Ray would have wanted Filoni and crew to continue to bring that to the fans.
Yeah, you're right. Like it makes so much sense, when you're thinking about it. Like it's a character that was a major part of the actual narrative. So to change that, you would have been doing a terrible disservice. You know what I mean? Like to change that, and we talk about that all the time. Like the IPs, big IPs, where the mistake is to think that the fans will not be as accepting, when they will. Like, we look again, we grieve the loss, we mourn the loss of individuals, but even when your camp is telling no, he would want this to continue. He would want this to go on. And I'm happy that they were able to do that, and that they're going to continue to do that, with this story. And have him implement it. So I can't wait to see what Roy does. I think he's going to kill it. He's definitely going to pull it off, and do it some justice. So definitely excited about that. So we okay. So this one, but before we go into this next one, so and I didn't even know this, but apparently, Taika Waititi's his film is still on.
No, it ain't. Is it?
It is. Like it apparently they've just found a writer. So they found the writer, and that his film is still on deck. Like literally. That's what they're saying, is that his film is still there.
It's been years since they mentioned it. Which one was his going to be again?
Nobody knows exactly,
Oh.
bro. Like nobody knows. But apparently, Taika Waititi's Star Wars film is still on deck. It's still basically slated and scheduled, like all these other films, like Ryan Johnson's film, like whatever. It's still slated to go. Now, here's the thing, bro. Like,
it must have been guaranteed money.
Bro, listen. Taika Waititi is a talented director. He's a talented writer when it's original. You know what I mean? Because then we can be as forgiving and graceful when he doesn't take an IP and make it a full anecdote where it becomes just comedy driven. Bringing him into Star Wars, after what I've seen, with again, we already know Thor: Love and Thunder.
Your favorite movie?
Bro,
don't forget your goats.
um, mm. How are you receiving this news, and are you okay with it?
I don't know what to think. I think that there's some, directors who do like to experiment, and they excel when they kind of hit that vein, and then they can go running with it, and it becomes a hit. Just like, I think it was it JoJo, his last
Jojo Rabbit, yeah, and that was good.
It was different, so he was able to kind of get into a groove and run with it. But you'd have to almost be a genius to find that within this genre, because you just need really good writing and stick to pretty much the theme of this franchise in order to get a hit. But if you veer away from it, you do run the risk of being very experimental. And I think if we're going to make an experimental Star Wars, any kind of experimental Star Wars thing, I want to see Studio Ghibli do something with like Baby Yoda, and do like let's do that kind of experiment where we know there's going to be some audience that's going to appreciate it and like it. Who wants this experimental Star Wars film? Maybe there is someone out there who wants it, who's relishing or just saying, gee, I wish they would make an experimental Star Wars film. But I don't know what it would be. Maybe Jedi and Thunder. I'm not sure if it's there. Maybe he can find it. But it feels like a big maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he has, yes, Love and Thunder was a misstep. However, Ragnarok wasn't.
Yeah, but it was tame because of the IP, or actually because of Marvel. They didn't give him the entire keys to the kingdom at that point. You know what I mean? They let him go with this film, with Thor: Love and Thunder. They just said, do your best. Do what you got to do.
I think, given what he's done in the past, he definitely has a great sense of comedy. But we have seen him also in the same film that's a comedy. Also, then it'll pivot, and all of a sudden, it's just like a heart-wrenching moment. Again, going back to Jojo Rabbit, where that film had it all. Yeah. I mean, how many films could you make that have that follow one child and, I guess, an imaginary Hitler, and just everything that's
which
happening.
Was an incredible film. Yeah,
it's an absolutely incredible film, and it's quite imaginative. Yes, an original idea, but an experimental Star Wars film. I mean, I'm all expectation, and I think he's got it in him to pull this, to make something that a lot of people will find refreshing, without playing it too safe. And that feels, that's the thing I hear a lot, is it doesn't feel like Star Wars, or this doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's like, what kind of Star Wars are we talking about? Are we talking about Legends? Are we talking about the comic books, which have a way different feel than many of the films? If you read the Marvel run of Star Wars right now, whether it's the Darth Vader, whether it's Star Wars, it has a different feel. Or even Dr. Aphra, it has a different feel than the films. And there are things they're doing in those comics that's way darker than the stuff you're seeing in the actual films, even Rogue One. So they go dark in those in the comics, but they're all canon, is the thing. So I do think that there is room for room to go down different avenues with Star Wars, much like we saw with Andor. It was a different avenue that they went down, much like Rogue One. It was a different avenue. It didn't play it as safe. I mean, it was a bit safer, I would say, because it had a lot of member berries, but it fit really, really well, and it told a more mature Star Wars story that I personally gravitated to. So I do think that, I mean, I'm excited to see anything new from Star Wars, and I'd rather see something new from Star Wars than to see the same film on repeat.
True. I get you. Before we go to Vinny, though, I got to bring in somebody who basically experienced all the goods at Star Wars Celebration, as he actually went and had that experience in Japan himself. We got the one and only Uncle Keith in the building. Tobar is in the building. Hey, hey, listen, you already know. Like, listen.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on, Unc? How you doing,
Nothing
bro?
much, man. Finally on with my man Vinny. Finally made it. Rita,
Hey, you make
RM,
it
I'm
to
so happy to see you. So happy
Yeah.
to see you. I missed you. I
Yeah.
wish you could have been there, but we'll get it next time. Next
Yeah.
time.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Las Vegas, baby.
We got to get back to Anaheim. We got to get the old gang back at Anaheim,
course.
man. It got to happen.
Of
It
course,
definitely
of
got to
course,
happen
of course,
because that
of
was
course, of
exciting.
course. Yeah, we had a great time last time. Yep.
Yeah, man. Uncle Keith, I'm gonna go to you in a minute, man. Vinny,
Yeah.
what do you think about? Again, bro, I'm not hating on this man because, like I said, he puts out incredible work. Like when he does it, when he's on, he's on. I just think that here's the thing. It's forgiving when they take chances. They take chances to see what will work. I mean, think about that with Ryan, Johnson with, the Last Jedi. He took a chance to see if it would actually work. I can accept that film more than I can actually accept Rise of Skywalker because again, at least he took a chance to see what would work. It was just missing pieces that could have made that movie much, much better than what it was. Rise of Skywalker, hell no. I don't know why they did what they did with that. But with Taika Waititi, we know that Ragnarok was, an amazing film. I enjoyed it. We get to Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'm like, what happened? Like, what did you do to a character that was so loved? You made him a buffoon, and it just didn't make any sense, especially coming off of Endgame. What potential that we could have gotten from that character? Now you're going to give him, and here's the thing: he was already slated to do this film before Thor: Love and Thunder even dropped.
Yeah.
The results of Thor: Love and Thunder hit, and then people were like, "Wait a minute, nah, bro, we don't know if this is going to be the same type of take or scrutiny that we got from Thor: Love and Thunder. If Star Wars isn't already facing enough, is this the right fit? What do you think, bro?"
I don't want to say like, nah, I'm not feeling it solely on the strength of Love and Thunder because I do feel like Ragnarok was a great balance, and I feel like he misunderstood why that movie worked, and it's almost like he felt, oh, they want jokes, and then like that meme where you go to porn and it's everything, like the whole bottle instead of just a dash, and
Yeah.
and I feel like he maybe just misunderstood why that film worked so well, which was the balance that film had, and there was darkness and there was seriousness to go along with the jokes, and it's really hard to say how I feel about it with absolutely no other knowledge other than that he's directing it, considering he seems to be such a wild card director. Like his resume is all over the place. There's drastically different genres and different types of films, so it's really hard to say, oh, there's some directors where what type of film to generally expect if they're behind. If you got Scorsese, what kind of movie is probably going to be like. Same with Tarantino or Spielberg, but with Waititi, it's like I have no idea what to expect from this. But the problem is, I don't know if we're in a good space right now with Star Wars on the big screen to not know how we feel about this. This is probably a time where Disney should be more in the market for stability and playing it safe. I mean, there's a reason why the Force Awakens worked so well. It didn't try to be too experimental. It tried to just go ahead out there and stick to a relatively safe formula. Hit action beats, hit drama beats, and not reinvent the Star Wars wheel, so to speak. And yes, Star Wars definitely does have different genres and different things that it does well, and it's not one thing anymore. But still is that, oh, this is Star Wars type of feel or magic that a lot of people do still resonate with and identify with when it comes to Star Wars. But it's very YTD is somebody who is very likely to come in there and like throw all that shit out and just reinvent the wheel. And after 5 years of having their tail stuck between their legs, scared to make another film because of the backlash of poorly received film, I'm not sure if like having a wild card, what's he gonna do type guy behind the helm at this point in their fragility of Star Wars is a great idea. Like maybe if it was a TV show on Disney Plus, or if it was a feature movie like Werewolf by Night type of thing on Disney Plus, sure. But maybe after they get their swagger back with Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfighter, and like this is something that comes out after they've got back on the horse, so to speak, and got some wins under the belt, maybe that's something that makes more sense. But right now, that's pretty crazy.
It's a scary space. It's definitely a scary space.
It's a very, very risky gamble, because I think even a great YTD movie, the way that YTD does movies, isn't necessarily what they need right now.
Yeah.
It's niche genre, whereas they need a few blockbusters. Then you go back, like you don't go from a very, very poorly received trilogy, 5 years of Exodus, and then come back with their I know obviously Mando was first, but within the next couple of films with a quirky, experimental, weird film. I think you get some wins under your belt first, and maybe more than one or two before you go through with a YTD film. And that might be the case. It might be something that he doesn't do for another 5 years or so.
Yeah,
so I don't know, but I'm amazed that he's still attached. I'm amazed that they're still trying. I figured that went away. I was joking, but it might be a guaranteed deal where they don't want to lose the money that they put into it.
I agree with Benny on that.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we actually get to it, it's probably going to be like a good 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And, think about it. Mando, we hope it's not just a giant episode of The Mandalorian. We hope it's an actual feature film, but it is going to easily transition us from streaming, which we've gotten too comfortable with, I would say, back into the movie. It's not like it's an unknown, property or unknown characters. These are characters we've seen for years on the small screen, and now we're just making that next tiny step to the big screen, and hopefully it's a movie that blows us us away and gets people excited. This, though, I think Taika Waititi, think about this. What if he did a Bounty Hunters movie? Bounty Hunters are quirky as hell. They're quirky, but they're also serious. Imagine seeing Dengar in there. Imagine seeing Zuckuss, Forlom. Imagine that. Do you think that can work?
With YTD, I'm just picturing a whole film of multicolored Vespas, like for a whole film.
I think that's an interesting prospect, but let's say bounty hunters and gamblers, and like these gamblers are out of control, and they've got to treat it's the underworld, and they have to see how they can handle these gamblers who are out of control or something. On that vein might be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, but what happened with him is that Disney, saw what was going on with Ragnarok. Oh man, this is great. People loved it. They had a balance of seriousness and a balance of comedy, which was great. But then they said, well, we'll let him run a little bit, and they let him run. And then you got Love and Thunder. And I'm going to say something else. I don't know if any of you seen Our Flag Means Death on HBO. Any of you seen that?
No, that was a pirate.
That was his show. It was his show. That show was unwatchable. I couldn't get through 15 minutes of the first episode. It was so bad. It's like the old sitcoms that had a forced laugh track. They didn't have a laugh track, but where they try to make you laugh.
Yeah.
That show seemed like it was awful. It was awful. So if they're gonna give him another shot, they need to say, hey man, you need to rein it in a little bit. Give us that balance. Not trying to be funny and unserious. They destroyed. Thor was a joke.
Yeah.
Thor was a joke, and I'm upset by that because we all know that Thor is not a joke.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So,
That's the thing. He's not at all, bro.
And his form of comedy. If you look at like I think the what is it on Disney Plus? The what was it called? Ultimate Avengers, I think it is the cartoon.
Yeah.
They have him and Hulk. The balance between their levity and their joking back and forth is perfect, and that's what they should have had Thor doing in all his movies. Exactly the way they had it.
Like a perfect balance of both.
It was perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. But we know they destroyed Hulk also. So I hope they give him a shot. I hope they like talk to the guy and say, hey man, this is what you have to do. We can't have that Thor, Love and Thunder. None of that.
Yeah. And here's the thing. He might, again, these people, these directors, these creatives, they listen. Their ear is their social media speaks volumes. It's the loudest form of communication right now. So of course they're listening. And I know he's basically wondering, okay, no, they didn't gravitate towards my film. It didn't work. I can't do this again because here's the thing. Unsuccessful films also spark really controversial conversations. Also, if it doesn't hit those numbers, then we know how Hollywood works. They'll look at you and be like, do we want to take a chance? We've seen it with other films. What was it? Trank? Was it Josh Trank or something like that? I believe who was supposed to do a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
But when they saw that book of, I forget, it was called the book of something, and the success of that particular, or the non-success of that film, because it completely tanked, then they tried to say that he didn't get a chance. They didn't want him to direct because of creative differences. He was the one who was going to give us Duel of the Fates. It was a Duel of the Fates script that he actually had for Star Wars, which was incredible.
I was going to say that script was amazing.
It was amazing, bro. But they just decided not to go with him off the strength of an unsuccessful film.
They did the same thing with Benioff and Weiss from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Benioff and Weiss.
They signed somebody hot, attach it to a project, don't tell you what it is. And then whatever they're working on, they kind of like, well, shit, I got Star Wars now, like, and I'm just not worried about this. I'm gonna get out of it. Then that looks bad, and they're like, oh wait, now we don't want you.
Yeah,
rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm willing to give anybody a chance. He might surprise the shit out of us and create a script that's completely phenomenal, toning down the jokes, getting back to formula, adding things with comedic value. Hell. Original trilogy, yes, we got jokes in certain films. Han was funny as shit. I don't care what nobody says. But at the same time, everything was balanced. It was a balanced take. Exactly. We got the light and the dark. We got the serious tones. We got the, the sadness. We got the front. Everything was there. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that Taika Waititi can pull this off because, again, bro, like it's just Star Wars needs wins. They need at least 3 consistent wins. They really do, bro, because the rhetoric right now is just, I'm so sick of hearing it. I'm so sick of the talk of people guesstimating and throwing in their takes on when Kathleen Kennedy should retire. Oh, she's going to retire in August, or she's going to retire here. They've been running with this same damn narrative for the longest time. And I'm like, bro, like, y'all are forgetting. Nobody was talking because it doesn't matter who you give this IP to. Even after her, they're going to suffer the same consequences if what they're getting isn't good. They're going to want the next person.
Yes.
They're going to want the next, because again, you can't please this community. It's just the way it works. She's going to leave at her own time. She will definitely leave on, or she's going to perceive as a high note. And you got to understand, regardless of how you basically feel about her, Force Awakens was $1 billion film. Last Jedi was $1 billion film. Rise of Skywalker was $1 billion film.
Yep.
So she's made the company money. I think the only film that kind of fell off, and that was just off of the strength of the backlash that they got from Rise of The Last Jedi, was Solo. it just came in at the wrong time at that particular point. I think it was Solo or whatever. It came in at the
Solo because it came out like 5 months after Last Jedi. And
yeah,
this
after
is
Last
too
Jedi.
soon for a Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
This is way too soon.
It was like way too soon, especially after the backlash. Right now, Star Wars needs some wins because I don't need to really mean to throw shade, but there's content creators out there, theories that they have, that, you know, literally, bro, like they're going with this narrative of hate when it comes to the IP that a lot of us love.
But see, what I don't understand is that everybody thinks that we're gonna get George Lucas Star Wars. That's over with. It's been over since he sold it. It's done. You're not getting George Lucas Star Wars. And everybody complains, oh, I want different stories. I want seriousness. I want this. So you get this kind of stuff, and then they complain about that.
Yeah.
It's like, just stop it. Try to enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, move on to something else. But
turn it off.
All of this.
Turn off the screen.
Exactly.
Go somewhere.
And the last time we got George Lucas Star Wars, we got the prequels, and you saw how well those went over the first time around. You know, mind you, the kids that saw them flipping loved them.
They loved it. And that's what it was about. It was for the kids, bro. It wasn't for it, and that's what he did it for. But here's to hopefully we get something great. I can't hold back, bro, because we got to talk about this. Because come on, man, look, Andor right now, bro,
is it?
Listen, I told you off the top, I am not supposed to like Deidre Merrill. I'm not supposed to like this woman, bro, but I cannot stop watching her. I can't. She's phenomenal, bro.
She sure is.
She's shown certain aspects of her character that I know I wasn't expecting to see her have kind of a conscience or frankly, or talk about the fact that she grew up with the Empire, you know, raising her, and that she has more. She's like, I don't want to do that job. It's not a spoiler, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to, you know what they're going to do. They're going to destroy that planet. They're going to, you know, that spider will never be seen again. You know, their culture will be, you know, they'll probably just completely raise the whole place. And she's like, I don't want that job. And her boss is like, you don't understand. That's an easy job. You should take it. And she's like, this is not why I'm in the Empire.
Yeah.
Her passion. But, you know, I think it's very interesting that she's having to deal with this. I wasn't expecting that level of her. I was expecting her to come in there and say, we're going to get every one of those rebels, and I don't care what it takes. We're going to do everything we can to nail them, and we will have their heads on pikes. I don't know. I'm very surprised that she's talking to her boyfriend's mother.
That's it. That part.
No, if you ever want to hear again, work with me, lady.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, this is just like our dinner tables. Like, how could they put this in Andor? This is so incredible.
Yeah.
She is coming into her own, and perhaps life in the Empire is not the life she's wanted. Maybe that's what's happening to her. It's
such a magnificent, like you said, for her, it's an occupation. It's title and occupation, but at the same time, it's earning the position. She's trying to work her way up like anybody would, but trying to do it, even though the occupation that she's supporting is terrible, she's trying to do it the right way. To her, it is the right way. It's a way that, again, and especially, here's the thing, because I know there's a lot of hate, and I've already seen it. I'm sorry to say this, and pardon my French, motherfuckers got to get over this shit, bro. Women can be powerful. They can. They can, and it's not forced. They can be powerful. They can step into these positions and run it just like a man could. Listen, and I say this, and I keep saying it. Do you love your mom? Because your mom went through a lot of stuff. Literally, as a woman. She raised your ass. You know what I mean? She took care of families. She went out there. She worked, was scrutinized for her position, but she worked hard to get you where you need to be. So women can sacrifice a lot. Women can be powerful, bro. Mon Mothma, bro.
Princess Leia.
Princess Leia, like literally, bro.
Princess
These
Leia.
women were powerful, and it was stories that were centered around them that were done well. They were written well. They weren't forced. This, what we're seeing, is a tragic tale, but we're also seeing strength and morals in this show, and it's phenomenal the way it is written. I can't, for some reason, it's like, yo, these first 3 episodes, I honestly, and I'm only seeing 3 episodes, and I feel like it already is better than the first season, and I love the first season. But from what I'm seeing, even with the first, the first episode, episode number 1, X, with, we're looking at Andor, who's coming into his own. Bro, that speech that he had, that conversation that he had, when he was, an undercover pilot, was phenomenal.
When he told that girl, "You've become more than your fear. Let that protect you."
Bro,
that was crazy. That was like, wow.
Bro.
Wow.
It was phenomenal. And to see that struggle even within her, she was like, when she said, yo, if I die, is this worth it? Is this, just tell me it's worth it. And you know what I mean?
He was trying to explain it to her.
Yeah, he was just explaining, like, you're doing this for a reason, and that reason is for the benefit. You don't want to see this regime take over. You took a stance to make this thing happen, and it's like now he's become more of a believer. Now he basically believes in Luthen's philosophy, and I think that really speaks volumes. X, what did you think about this first episode, man?
So you were talking about the tech that he was talking to, and,
that scene, the tech he was talking to, and
And I love the fact that it starts off at a Sinar facility. I'm like, oh, that's deep cut. I like that.
Yeah.
Point at the screen, did the God, Leonardo DiCaprio thing where you snap and point at the screen like Sinar. I know what that is. Sinar fleet systems. Oh my God.
Yep.
But the fact that she was, she kind of was having second thoughts because she was realizing what she would have to sacrifice in order to help. The fact that the people she was working with weren't all evil, the fact that she actually had fun there and that she had friends there, and so she might be giving up her life, the life that she knows, with the hope of righting some wrong in the galaxy. But you definitely see Cassian, he's more confident. He's less, I would say, he's certainly less self-centered. I mean, that was just his natural progression from season 1 to caring about something that's bigger than him. And you see that when he gets sort of marooned on the planet full of morons on Yavin.
Yeah, what is going on?
He's trying to what
is going on?
He's trying to.
I was like, what's wrong with these people?
Well, it's the idea. It's like, okay, what does the rebellion look like? And right now, it's a mess. It's not centralized. It's not, there's not a central leadership for the rebellion. Nope. He can't even tell this other rebel cell who he's working for. But he's trying to impress upon them we're on the same side, but they lost their leader, and all of a sudden they're just lost in the wind. They're trying to tip over. They're trying to move a TIE Avenger to blast each other. They're eating rotten melons.
But I think that was the whole point of that whole the chaos. When you don't have a leader, this is what you get.
This is what you get. You're not going to achieve anything. And the sad fact is that Cassian wasted so much time on Yavin. We're waiting for him to return. His friends kept saying, Cassian's coming back. Cassian's coming back. And sadly, if he hadn't wasted time, or if those people hadn't wasted his time, he probably would have gotten back in time to save his friends. But I think what we're going to see is that because the show is about loss and it's about sacrifice, Cassian can't have it all. And he's going to realize, I can't have people waiting for me back home and give myself 100% to the rebellion. It was like what Luthen said at the his speech. He's like, what's my sacrifice? Everything. And
Everything.
we're going to see that when we get towards Rogue One, where Cassian is just very. It takes a lot to get him out of his shell again, and it takes Jin to get him to soften up a bit and let people back into his life, because I have a feeling he's going to have to let people go before they start dying on him.
No, he's going to have to do some stuff that is going to, be really hard, and you're going to see, because we saw in Rogue One, we saw the end result of what he's going through right now. We saw that person that was no qualms about assassinating people, no qualms about blowing up stuff. So we're seeing that progression of what I have to do to become a leader. That's what he's going through right now.
Yeah.
And Mon Mothma's going through the same thing. She's like, what do I have to sacrifice in order to have this rebellion? What do I have to? It's my family. It's my,
everything.
What do I have to give up? Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, like and Vinny with Mon, it's like, again, we talked about this earlier. She was so. This is the same woman who played Mon Mothma in the prequels, the same woman that we basically see play Mon Mothma in even Rogue One, with minimal lines and minimal expression, but we saw that there was potential there. In this, we're seeing a totally different side of this woman that I didn't get a chance to see back then, but I am so grateful that we're getting a chance to see the way she's playing this character now, because she's made and she also voiced Mon Mothma in Rebels and in so again, I'm so glad that we get a chance to see her come into her own here. But you can see it's like a tragic story of someone who has to hold family together.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're trying to, the idea of your daughter being exposed to this particular world, and you realizing that it is a big mistake, but there are sacrifices that have to be made, but then trying to also make her see, but then she's dealing with her own rebellious nature, a husband who's just completely oblivious and stupid, but at the same time notices things that are actually going on, and then you're dealing with a best friend who, I'm just, for the sake of saying, he's trying to get some cheeks. That's just what it is. It is. That's what it is. He just wants them cheeks. So I don't, you know what I mean? You can't get beyond that. But, and knowing that you're working with Luthen, who's a no nonsense that will literally kill everybody in that party for the greater good. And
I love seeing basically back and forth between these two personas the whole time. I loved it.
Mon is having the most difficult time of her life right now, because her entire life is now completely turned upside down. And even her best friend, as you all have said, from childhood, that she feels she could trust, all of a sudden it feels as if we even feel that it feels like she can't trust him. Is there anyone that poor Mon can trust when everybody's infiltrated her house and they have just the key to her door, the key to her finances, the key to her politics? Her husband is kind of, tolerating her now, and her daughter is not even happy. That little speech she gives her at the end, her daughter's like, I don't really need that, Mom. I mean, she just is not in a good place right now. But she's holding it together with a smile, and she's dressed to the nines, and she's like, if they're going to do this to me, I'm still going to look good. I'm still going to go out there and party and just cut loose and do what I feel is right. I think at the end, no matter what happens, no matter who lets her down, no matter who double crosses her, no matter who, steals her money or her heart or whatever it is, because I swore she was going to have some nice hookup with that childhood friend of hers, because she really kind of needs this right now. But even that seems to have fallen through. My goodness, Mon, just hang in there. We need you for the film. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. You're still gonna look wonderful. Don't worry about anything. But it is a lot and to know these personal things that people are doing. I thought for sure this man and her, like the way she was holding on to him throughout these few episodes, and he kind of just pulled away from her. I said, oh no, he's not on your side anymore.
No, he's not. And I was like, yo, that was a big. I was like, oh,
liability now.
He bailed out. He bailed. He said,
this dude literally doesn't give a shit.
Nope. They messing with my money, and all of a sudden, I'm sorry, this whole rebellion thing isn't sounding too hot.
I'm out.
You messing with my money.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit. Like now you can't trust this dude. And Luther's like, okay, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you. This dude ain't shit. But don't worry about it. We got it handled.
Yeah, we got it
just
handled.
go and party. Get you a couple drinks.
Get you, like I said, you can tell when she grabbed that first drink, she was like trying to calm her nerves. And then she grabbed the second drink. She was like, fuck this. Let's go.
Your daughter told you I'd rather you were drunk.
She was like, it's all over. I'm all in. I'm all in. Let's party. Let's have a good time because I know what I gotta do. That's what it was.
And then her the daughter-in-law's mother-in-law, I guess, was like, you need a drink, Mon, here, and she took it. But I'm also wondering how she's gonna get out, because she's gonna have to escape at some point, right? Mm-hmm. Who does she trust for this? She doesn't have anybody who has her back anymore. That's the tough part. It feels like she's gonna walk into a room, someone's gonna close the door, and then it's over. I don't like that feeling for her, and I just wish there was some kind of guardian angel for her.
Yeah,
kind of just say, I got you. Don't worry. Come on. I knew you'd need me at this time. Maybe it's Clea. Who knows? Maybe
who knows who's gonna be? Yeah,
I think this is her journey towards becoming colder and being what she has to be in order to handle. Because ironically, even her daughter, who is powerless at what's going on with her, she's telling her, "Oh, you don't really have to do this." As she's like about to walk out there, which was the most like horrible thing you could tell her because no, she doesn't have a choice. Like you can't really. Defy your destiny at this point in time. And if you were going to have that conversation with her, you could have had that like a week ago, or at the door. Like you're going to tell me that right when I'm about to walk out there, just so that you feel better about yourself, because then you could say, "Oh, I tried to tell her she didn't have to do it." Nah, that was too little, too late. I felt really bad for her daughter at that point because, because that took away the daughter's ability to be able to at least blame her mom. So that way, she had somewhere to put her frustration with the moment, and mom didn't want to take that weight or responsibility. And I think part of what's going on with her, she has to learn that you're not going to be everyone's friend if you're going to get this job done. You are going to have to make enemies with your family, your friends, everybody. And like, again, back to what Luthen said in that famous speech last season, this is part of the game. You have to sacrifice everything. We're seeing that with Cassian too, because last season, all his heroics were kind of like, man, I'm just trying to get the fuck out of here. And he just happens to do something heroic. Now he's premeditatedly, purposefully, intentionally doing rebellious things. Like, he's there for a purpose. He doesn't have to be doing all this shit anymore. He got out. He got out of jail. Got where he needs to be. He could just go home. But instead, he has a purpose now, and he doesn't quite realize just how much that purpose is going to cost. And you can just like see it on his face. He's having to deal with all these things that he's now putting himself into instead of just, hijinks that he's found himself in. And I think that we're seeing all these different elements in the rebellion, and at the same time seeing all these different elements with the Empire, because you have your stormtroopers who are just regular people who just are stuck in these positions, and some of them are dumb, and some of them are just like grunts, and some of them just are there because it's a job, just like us with our military, right? We're just going to work. Exactly. And then at the same time, you got these people who are just going to work, just doing, so that they can afford to put food on their family's plate. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the people on the top who are sitting in a room conspiring how to overthrow a planet with meticulous planning and just evil and cold-blooded and like over tea, like it's nothing. And we're going in all worlds too. Like we have meetings in Washington over how to overthrow a nation that are on so many levels to topple empires, and it's just incredibly calculated, and it's just the epitome of deconstruction of basically war and power and all these different things. And we're getting to see the curtain pull back on all these different elements from all these different characters and what they have to go through, and what gets you to where we see in the original trilogy of having a formed rebellion and having a formed government empire that is as powerful they are, and the sacrifices it took to get to that point on both sides, because both sides had to sacrifice so much, and both sides' hands are not as clean as you would think. Especially not the rebellions, because everyone knows the empire is evil, and that's fine. But no one kind of we're seeing just how much dirt the rebellion had to get on their hands to get where they wanted to be too.
Of course,
yeah, that's true, bro.
And the one thing I noticed about Mon is that the moves she was making in the beginning I don't think she realized that the stuff she was doing, that people could end up being killed. I don't think he realized that. Luther knows that. He knows everything that he does. Somebody could die, and that's okay with me. But I think she's realizing that the decisions I'm making now, people are going to die.
Yeah, on both, and that's the thing is on both sides. Now she's in the middle of a rebellion that's being established, and she's like, well, there's people in this rebellion that I don't think I can actually trust.
Yeah,
because this is like they're by any means necessary. And then there's, pretty much the empire, itself, imperial officers and this whole regime that I'm dealing with that has an agenda, but also an agenda that's actually funding me as a senator, you know what I mean, in this particular space. So it's like,
she doesn't realize she's playing chess. Luther, like you said, he's like literally telling her, yo, you're going to have to give up some cheeks to get what you want. That motherfucker don't want money. He's all right. There's something else he wants.
I thought they were already doing it, to be honest with you, because she doesn't seem to have any kind of relationship with her husband that way. I just thought he, popped around every, 2 weeks or so.
You can tell
he was trying to lay the ground.
He's like, I'll come up with a number. He's like, I got a number, all right.
He was laying the ground.
But even the rhetoric, I'm kind of like, alone, or I'm kind of feeling like a certain way because there's no communication. So pardon my the mannerisms. He was always
like, you're always here, and I'm like, oh, is he? Oh.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but I think Mon was basically playing her hand with him, because I even think part of her knew that she had him where she wanted him, but she didn't know to what extent he was willing to go and where he was at. So, him saying that, me and my wife aren't together, that was planned. He didn't want to be there anyway. No. That's just the way the situation was. He was making space, thinking that Mon was going to be like, all right, I'm leaving my husband because he's a cornball. My daughter's getting married off. We're just going to wait till this whole thing's settled, and then we'll make that move. The husband's like, yeah, I know dude wants them cheeks. I know y'all probably basically trying to, whatever, but it is what it is. I'm going to live in my own little pocket. I just want you to know that I know and I see it. Hey, you want an open relationship? Let's talk about that later after this wedding. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just a type of situation that was just off.
Probably in the car chair watching.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's not me, bro. You know what I mean? But it's incredible, bro, the way it's done. Now, this right here, bro, I got to talk about this because it's so tragic to me seeing where Bix is, because bro, this woman has gone through some shit.
Yes, she has.
Like, literally, you're dealing with PTSD from a torture that you can't kind of, again, that scene was haunting in the very beginning. It was crazy how they basically did that. The cinematography for that, how he appeared in the mirror and whatever, that stalking type of feeling that you get, that PTSD, like they're showing you visually what it feels like and what that PTSD represents in this character. To go from that to be unsure where you're at, always looking over your shoulder, because again, the Empire is always lurking. That to get this motherfucker right here, bro, I could not.
Slimy,
bro,
son of a bitch.
And you know when he played that role so well.
Baby.
I could not stand this dude, bro.
Bro, this was a truly uncomfortable scene to watch. It was absolutely, it was terrifying as well to watch, because it just kept going. And then I appreciate the fact that we as the audience saw what it was, and then she said what it was.
Yeah.
in the show. She said this is what he was trying to do.
And I've read some complaints about what was going on. And I'm sitting there and I'm going like, well, this is an adult show. These type of things happen, unfortunately. And like I said, but you can accept Anakin going in and slaughtering kids.
I was gonna say, it's like Master Skywalker. There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Yeah, I mean, this is an adult show. This is not a children's show. Yeah. So themes like this are going to have to be dealt with, and they dealt with it. So
I mean, if we don't think that things like this are happening to people who are not in a position of power, for instance, in this case, they were going around literally asking for visas.
Yep.
And so these are literally undocumented workers.
Yep.
And to think that these kinds of individuals aren't taken advantage of in this way is naive, to say the very least. It happens here on Earth. It happens in the Star Wars universe. Yep. And it's terrifying in both cases.
Yep. It is, bro. And it's we're seeing is a development of a character that is going to be so hardened that she's, again, they always say, you push that woman till she just don't give a fuck. And she's going to be like, yeah, nah, now you want this heat, you want this drama, now you're going to get that drama type of situation. And we're seeing that develop with her. Like we're seeing her come into her own. Like she's just like, yo, I don't care anymore. I'm it's going to get to that point. Like, right, we're seeing the struggle, but we're also seeing strength from that. You know what I mean? In so many different parallels of this particular character, and I love the way she's playing it.
There was a point where I didn't think she was gonna beat him. Like, he was kind of on the floor, and he was sort of dragging her by her leg. I was like, that's it. She's done. Like he's gonna accomplish this, and I was really terrified for her. I didn't think she was gonna come out of this, without him really getting what he wanted from her. And I was quite surprised at the final outcome. And the guy who was in whatever that thing was on the outside, hearing the screams, he knew what was going on.
He knew exactly what was going on. Yeah.
That was even more disturbing because he was more concerned about, his, senior officer safety, than this woman who he knew that guy went in there to see. So that was also, very disappointing. But, I guess more and more this is going to happen as they go out into the galaxy and just take advantage of situations like this, because they can do it. And that's exactly what they're fighting against, right? This is
exactly
the things that they're fighting against, because they know this is going to happen over and over again.
Yeah, it's an unavoidable situation. You know what I mean? Like, you now have to be placed in the space to, whereas again, these things are making you into something that you're not. It's turning you into something that you don't really want to face, but you're forced to, because this is the side that you've decided to align yourself with. But you can just also imagine the guilt that Andor feels of leaving her to this situation and having, because all of this is taking place because of him. You know what I mean? It's just,
you're right.
There's no getting around it. Like, all of this that's happening right now is happening because of him. And just imagine, that feeling, Uncle Keith, like knowing, like, yo,
yeah, man, it's just like, everybody knows that it's a desperate time and it's a desperate situations that they're in, and they know that anytime the Empire can show up and things can change in a blink of an eye. And that's what happened with this situation right here. They didn't expect that, them to come around and cause all these problems, and they're just trying to get by, but they always knew that one day somehow this could happen to them.
Yeah, bro,
and it happened. So
it definitely did. And again, I love how they're bouncing between the characters and we're developing it again. We're developing like the same feel an emotional attachment to these characters. Not emotional, but the character development is done so well. Like it's extremely well, and I welcome it. Man, listen, like I told you in the very beginning, I'm not supposed to like her, man. I'm not.
Oh no, I'm on her side.
We got to see her choose separates.
I'm not supposed to like Deidre, man. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not. Cyril, I'm just like, all right, he's a little punk. We already know that.
Yeah, but you got to look at his mother, man. His mother has destroyed this man. She has destroyed him.
Literally destroyed him, man.
And a lot of people, might see, a lot of people have domineering mothers. A lot of people have this kind of situation and see, what's going on with Cyril, because you can see the man is broken. He's done, and I'm surprised he even has a relationship with her. That's what I'm surprised about.
Nah, man. When he like threw a tantrum and like ran off and like was laying on the bed all fruity, man. What are you doing? Yo, he was laying on the bed like a teenager talking to her girlfriend on the phone. Like,
hey, it looks like just all the life just left his body. He's just like, oh god.
The cord stretched from in the kitchen. The phone stretched from in the kitchen. He's laying on the bed talking to his girlfriend. Yeah.
Bro, it just looked like he was listening to "Can You Stand the Rain" on his bed, bro. Like,
I was expecting him to grab his little Mickey doll and lay down.
Bro, but that's bro. It just showed Deidre. It's like she seen him leave and was like, "Yeah, nah."
Yeah, I know.
Don't come up in our house like this. And also, your Uncle Harlow is a punk, and I have his number. The whole season 1, we're like, "Who's Uncle Harlow?" Now we know. It's a fucking punk.
Now we know.
He's a punk. He's a punk ass bitch, and Deidre's got his number. So it's just like, stop it with your Uncle Harlow. Stop it with all this shit. I will shut this down right now. This ends now. She said it. This ends now.
Yeah, we ain't playing that type of game. We gonna let you know, like, it got to stop. It's going to end. You come into our house. There's going to be a level of respect. If you want to see him again, you're going to see him. Yeah, the game ends now, bro. Like, she wasn't playing. Like, but it just. Her progression is, I don't know why it's like I want to watch more. Like, I need to see more.
She's the one who tells the waiter that they got my order wrong. Like,
yep.
I'm taking this shit back. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this.
Yeah, we ain't doing this.
But my galactic credits ain't going down on that mess you just gave me. No. Ain't
yeah, nah, we definitely ain't gonna have this. But how pleasant though was it to finally see? I mean, we got to see our dude back, bro. We got definitely a chance to see our guy back, man.
Yo, when he said,
"Oh, I
talked
to my favorite dudes,"
no, you didn't.
Yeah,
you didn't talk to the Emperor last night, but they don't know you didn't talk to the Emperor last night. But
they have no idea
you didn't talk to the Emperor last night.
He's playing his hand. Like, he's definitely playing his hand, bro. Like,
he's doing what Krennic does.
Yeah.
Tarkin and Yularen have no idea what he's doing.
No.
And he's sure as hell, oh, I talked to the Emperor last night. No, you didn't. You're just trying to cover your ass is what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And get this project back on target, back on, back on schedule is what you're trying to do, is what you're trying to save face. And so you're scrambling and using all these resources and saying, oh yeah, I talked to the Emperor. No, you didn't. You didn't talk to the Emperor.
And it's sort of like, again, like he's using, it's sort of like he senses the intelligence of Deidre. He knows that. He knows she's a very intelligent individual. He, like he said, he's probably asked for her. He wants someone to make those decisions that's smart enough to make those decisions, not knowing, bro, you picked the wrong one, because she is a lot smarter than what you think and probably can see through half the shit that you're currently doing right now. So don't think that this is going to be one of those type of situations where you're going to walk all over her in this position. But again, when he says, look, I know you're planning something, I can see it. and she's more like an advisor. You know, she's a JD Vance. I mean, no, I don't want to say she's a JD Vance, bro.
She's way more competent than JD Vance.
She's way more competent.
She's competent. JD, not so much.
No. Yeah, but
JD just has great eyeshadow.
Got that.
But bro, like again, like I never thought. I mean, look, we knew how intelligent she was and how strong she was in the very beginning, even though, again, there were some things that she basically did that were like, yeah, nah, I'm not cool with that. We definitely not. But it's just like they make you also empathize with these characters in such a way. But again, with Krennic, and we know directly where he's going to go. You know that also he's going to step on a couple people's necks to get to where he needs to be, and that's just the way it's going to happen. You know what I mean? You can't. There's no getting away around. No, there's no way around it. It's definitely going to happen. But I definitely need to see. Where now again we lost a very important character in this man. Well, he was. Bro.
I thought he was going to make it too, and I was kind of sad when I saw. I said, "Damn." I thought he was going to make it,
bruh. I believed that he was gonna make it, but then I was like,
that one
when he got on that speeder, bro,
down a little too much.
I know. I was like, dude,
one stormtrooper, and you're like, oh no,
man,
he didn't even serpentine. You got a zigzag, baby.
Exactly, he was going on the straight. Exactly, man. He was going on the straight line, man. Come on,
serpentine.
Everybody knows that.
Brazo, serpentine, Brazo, serpentine.
Bro, like did not zigzag at all. It was just
no zig.
Bro, no. It's come. I was like, yo, come on, man. And then we got a chance to see a stormtrooper actually focus.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, that was funny. That was how they emphasized my boy put the scope up to his face.
Yeah, everyone else is just pew pew pew, and this one's like, bro, there we go.
Like bro, when they showed that scene, I was like, wait a minute, hold up. So what you trying to say? Like
I got kicked out of sniper school, but I can do this,
bro. He was the one trooper that was like, hold up, let me just show y'all that I ain't like one of these kids is not like the other, bro.
Look at this guy's gun over here. Look where it's pointed at.
He came in like, I guess
it's pointed up in there.
My man been at the arcade.
But the thing is, but you see how, but that's the thing. You seen him point his gun, but we never seen him take that shot.
We didn't.
Nope.
He never took the shot. So it again, bro. Like it was such an amazing scene. It was super super duper funny. But also seeing that even Andor as a pilot is not as skillful as we think as a pilot. He's
not yet. He's not.
I thought he was. I thought like that was a misdirect. Like they tried to make it seem like he wasn't a great pilot, but he just was learning a completely new ship that he wasn't prepared for. I thought that in retrospect was a great scene because they spent the whole rest of the landing on that planet with them trying to figure out what he figured out in real time as he's being shot at. So I felt like that actually did try to show how great a pilot he was because he basically figured out how to fly that ship under fire literally in minutes when it was obviously a new construction, a new design that he hadn't even trained for. And I'm glad they eventually explained that because at first it was like, how does he not know how to fly this thing? Like he's literally there to steal it. How does he not know what he's stealing? But I loved everything about that whole sequence in the ship. It felt real. It felt like it felt like a real ship. It felt like he was really flying. It was an incredible. Like you don't always see the inner workings of flying any of these. You don't really. They try to shy away from actually showing you how they're flying the Falcon or showing you how they're flying TIE fighters. But you're literally seeing him operating it as if like you're watching a pilot literally fly. And I felt like he did an incredible job, and I felt like it felt real. I will say this though, that's about as indestructible a ship in
you ain't lying, boy. That thing
hit every rock you could hit.
Everything was
Well,
bouncing
hey, I
off
mean,
of that thing, man. Yeah.
It's got shields, and
Yeah,
so
he
the TIE
had
Avenger
put
does
some
have
Vaseline on the
shields.
sides of that ship or something. It was
It's pretty.
I mean, it's the prototype for what? Vader's TIE Advance. So
I think that's what it looks like, right?
No, this is called
Yeah,
the TIE.
so-
It's called the TIE Avenger. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The prototype for Vader's TIE Advance, and Vader's TIE Advance has shields. So when that other TIE fighter ran into him, and he just goes careening off into space.
Yeah.
So I can see, although he was beating the hell out of the ship, he really was.
Yeah.
And from the second he got in, and then it went in reverse, I did laugh out loud when that
That
happened.
was funny.
It was like,
That's how your controller is on your video game. It's always the opposite.
Too sensitive. Like,
yeah,
That is true, bro.
It is, yeah.
That's definitely the way it was. That's true, bro. Because what was it? What game was that? Which game was that when you were in this? What was it? Which game was it when you were basically in the snow speeder trying to take down the AT-AT? What was that? Rogue Squadron. Bro, do you know how hard that damn thing was to pilot, bro?
Maybe Shadows of the Empire.
Bro, it was hard as fuck to pilot that thing, bro.
Yeah,
it was just like, how? Like, how can I do this, bro? Like, there was no way. There was no possible way. But you get a sense of it. Even the shit that had me dying is when he basically was trying to communicate. He tried to power up and hot rod the ship to communicate.
Yeah, he did hot wire.
He did.
He hot wired it.
But I really appreciate this show because you actually get to see the size of TIE fighters.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When they're in space, you don't really know the size of these things.
Yeah.
They're big ships.
Yeah.
And they're, in season 1, when you saw that one go screaming through the valley, it's actually terrifying. And that's just one of them. So you can imagine how people would be scared of these things, the sound it makes, but also how fast it moves.
Yeah. And I love the scope. Even like I said, I love seeing another side of Yavin. You know what I mean? That we haven't actually seen.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing a vicious side of Yavin that we've never seen before. You know what I mean? And it's like, and like you said before, if those individuals again are working with the rebellion, then again they got a lot of fine tuning to do these motherfuckers because they are
the worst part of these 3 episodes. Watching these dumbass fucking oh my god, they were the worst,
bruh, the worst, the absolute
and not
worst.
Not because they didn't trust Cassian, that's fine. They had no. It's like this was their first day deciding to do
exactly
anything like this.
They're playing scissors to decide.
It's like they were on a resort from The Office.
Like,
it's like it's like a bunch of like city boys on the first day in the woods.
Here's a blaster. Now get out there. Let's go. That's exactly what happened. Let's get out there and get it done. They didn't know what the hell to do. They didn't know anything.
Nah, what were you saying? You said.
Oh, I said it was equally disturbing seeing them play rock, paper, scissors to decide.
Right. And you leave one of the most incompetent dudes to watch Andor.
I know. He's watching them while he's supposed to be watching. He's watching them play rock, paper, scissors. While
I think they left his brother watching the Punisher over in Daredevil. Like clowns.
Yeah. I imagine this is one of the situations where it would make Cassian question the rebellion and
like what am I doing here? I might have picked the wrong side.
I gotta work with these bunch of losers.
If they hadn't wasted if they hadn't wasted his time, he would have been able to save his friends. And that's the thing. And you see the look on his face as he's flying away, where he's like, I lost another one. And if he puts 2 and 2 together, I lost them because these assholes wasted my time. These asshole rebels. Is this worth it to me?
Like literally, he's telling you that we're working for the same side. As a matter of fact, we're supplying it. But instead of asking questions, again, there's one thing to survive. But when it's all of you against one individual who's blatant, like literally telling you, like, and no one said, "Yo, why don't you just get us? Let's all get on this damn ship
and get out of here
and leave." He's a pilot. So obviously he got here. Maybe he can get us off. But you're arguing between two sets. It doesn't make any that was the most fucking frustrating part about episode 2 was them. Because they were so
you don't have a password?
Yeah, something. And they were so unorganized. The one guy goes, "We got 16 blasters on you." Hey man, you weren't supposed to tell him you got 16 blasters.
No, saying you wasn't supposed to tell him many blasters is more unprofessional than even telling him that he had 15 blasters.
Like the whole thing was a mess, man.
Bro, it's again, bro. I will say something though. Hot Toys. Give us this.
I was gonna say that right there is
that's doable.
I'm gonna need you to give us the disguise Andor Imperial.
We're getting that.
We gonna need you to do that
because you got the disguise Jin, so you got to have the disguise and almost in the same outfit,
and he's got to have the helmet. Give him the helmet.
Oh yeah,
I recommend the budget on this show for the way that they spent their money. Because not to shit on Acolyte, but that movie, that show had a famously high budget, and there was a lot of scenes where it was clearly like they were in a studio lot. And this show, every single episode had some of the most stunning geography and set pieces. I mean, the grains on Yavin, the woods here on this planet, the snow, the castles. Absolutely everywhere they went looked like a vacation, like dream landscape. Every single place they went looked absolutely stunning. And then on top of that, it felt like they were really at physical locations every time they were somewhere. It never did it feel like they were in just like a studio or a green room or anything like that. Absolutely stunning. Cinematography and set pieces. The set pieces were just absolutely beautiful. I mean, they have been since season 1. It's just incredible the amount of realism and detail, and like you feel like you're there.
Yeah, it's
very cinematic. Like it looks like $1 million.
And that's the thing is like, bro, I don't know how honestly you let somebody like Tony Gilroy, who clearly is going to earn you another Emmy nomination,
get away.
I don't know how you let somebody like that completely get away.
Yeah.
Even though, he's saying that, definitely. And we know the thing is, truth be told, we know that this is the end and we know where this ends up.
Yep.
But damn, bro, like there's so much more that you want to see, from him and just, where he's going with it, where he's taking it. Like, and it's a story that we've wanted to basically see for the longest time. Like, look, it's not all about shoot 'em up lightsabers, the Force, and all that good stuff. Nope. I don't always want to see happy endings, bro.
Nope.
I don't want to see this end on a high note. Chat, and I'm gonna say this to the chat right now. Get out of your head. Don't clip this. I know what I was saying. I'm talking about happy endings when it comes to stories. So I'm just letting y'all know that. Because don't be trying to clip shit. Because I know y'all will. Renz Talentino is good for that. He's infamous doing it. So I'm just letting y'all know. But again, rest in peace to my guy. I did not think that he was going to go as quickly as he did.
Russell, man. Damn.
Yeah, Russell, man. I did not think he was going to actually go as quickly as he did. I was like, wow, man. But again, we know we're getting in the thick of things and it has to be a sacrifice.
Yeah,
it is. It definitely has to be a sacrifice. But you're right, Vinny. The complete scope of this is, even the feels, the smell. It's like you can almost smell the environment through that screen. And the budget that goes into this, you can tell that they're putting their all into it, and they need that win. Like they definitely do. And mind you, the way they're setting these up is the first 3 episodes. After the first 3. We're going to skip by a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next episode is going to be a year out. So I wonder
it's so satisfying to have 3 at once. It is so satisfying to have 3 episodes a week.
But there's people that don't like that.
It's like an hour-and-a-half movie, so it's great.
Why they want more, or they want to be able to binge the whole thing in one night, or
they want the week to week.
I mean, then in that case, they can just watch one episode this week.
Exactly.
Save the episodes. You don't have to eat all the cake at once.
No,
you can eat the cake over a few days.
Over a few damn days.
You don't have to eat the whole damn thing today. You can,
your
though.
time and slow it down. You know what I mean? Like it is
for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly, man. But again, listen, the Mon Mothma rave, man. I gotta tell you, Uncle Keith, before you came in, bro, I was like, yo, I ain't never seen Mon Mothma like this.
Man. She was going hard, man.
I didn't realize how much I was gonna love seeing this. You know, Genevieve O'Reilly is killing it with this. She let her hair down and she was going in. She was cool.
She was like, she says, I'm all in. Give me another drink. Let's get this party going. We getting ready to do some work.
I don't have a choice.
Nope, I don't have to do what I gotta do.
She was like, look, I'm just gonna get drunk.
Well, that's the thing. Her daughter's like, "Oh, I wish you were drunk," and she's like, "Fine,
okay."
And I do think the mother-in-law saw she was upset too.
Oh yeah.
Mother-in-law did see she was upset.
Oh yeah,
and said, "Hold on, Mon.
Yeah,
you gotta have a drink. You need here.
Let's just."
And I was like, "They didn't put anything in her drink, right? Like this." Because it just everything had just felt so like as if she couldn't trust anybody. But then I was like, yeah, she needs to dance and just kind of let it go. She just has to let things go. And, you know, Namos, you know, that whoever did that EDM song, thank you for doing that.
Mon Mothma was that one girl at the concert that's dancing all by herself. And she doesn't, nobody, she don't care. It's 50,000 people, but
just
she's
leave me alone.
All by herself.
Leave me alone.
She went from Mon Mothma to Mon Molly.
Bro, she was throwing them back, boy. She was like, man, she hit one, she got another one. Just throwing them back.
Keep it coming, bartender.
Yeah, she threw it on the ground like another.
It was a beautiful wedding. I am going to say that.
Yeah, it was. It was.
As far as arranged marriages go, it was fire.
Just imagine how much money you can actually save if you just basically purchase one of them DJ Androids that
I want one of those so badly.
Can you imagine that
song for like the last few days? I've just been listening to it on my way to work. I'm like, this is great. This is
but can you?
I love this song.
But like it was. But here's the thing. Here's the complaints.
There's complaints.
Yes.
It's Star Wars.
What people wanted vinyl? What's the complaint?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, actually, well, never mind. Sorry. Keep going.
It's always the sentiment that we hear over and over again. This isn't supposed to happen in Star Wars. This doesn't happen in Star Wars.
Dancing
this is not my Star Wars.
We had Lapity Neck in Return of the Jedi. Yub nub, motherfuckers. We had that. Let's see. We had Jedi Rock in, again, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So music in Star Wars is nothing new.
There's literally most obviously there's Cantina themed Star Wars bands.
Exactly. You have the Cantina band.
Yeah,
you had the
it was great, man. It was
maybe that's what they wanted. They wanted
that's what they want.
That's what
they wanted.
Can you imagine being the person at this wedding who requests that? They're like, okay, I want
throw them out. Get out.
I really want that.
Yeah, like
just kills the mood altogether.
Well, I'd be the person at the wedding requesting the Namos EDM dance mix from Star Wars.
Okay,
I think we all would, man, because the thing is, like, everybody was getting loose, they was drinking. That would be the perfect setting for Vinny.
Yeah, this is great. Great, man.
Like, listen, I'm a fan of your work. You want another drink?
What another drink?
Just saying.
Bring the bottle over here.
Rebellion plans got you down.
Oh my god!
Somebody in the chat brought this up. They said and again, interesting question. Do you think that B's now? Here's the thing, because they left B, man. Like literally, Andor left B on that planet. Like so I guess I don't know if this is a slow departure from B, but I don't think that B is going to be transferred or reprogrammed to K2. I think K2 is going to have its own personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think K2's and there's nothing wrong with this. I think K2 is much more a sophisticated artificial intelligence than B.
Yeah.
I love B very much, but K2 is like flying, planes and doing trajectories and stuff, that
B can't do all of that now.
And one of the corniest things, and I love the movie, but one of the corniest things about Solo was putting L-37 in the Falcon and explain and that having,
That
was so stupid.
You're right, Vinny. I agree with you. I agree.
It took away so much of the lore of the Falcon and Han, and took away Han's pilot, abilities and awareness, and made it like it was, Calrissian's old robot doing
all the work.
I don't want them to transfer, B into K2SO. Let K2SO be K2SO.
Yeah, B is worried, man. He's like, Cassian's coming back.
I would die for this droid, just so you know. I would die for B.
Yeah.
Justice for B. I love B to death.
I like
he's just so sincere. And I love it. Especially when he's playing with the kids. He's like, you'll never catch me. And they're chasing him around. And did you see the little girl playing with like a little toy ATST? I love that in Star Wars they have like Jyn had the little stormtrooper doll. And, like, when we were kids, we had little, army men and army tanks. And in Star Wars, they also have weapons of war as toys.
Yeah, as toys. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But and again, like, and you said that because it's like when we go back to it, we were innocent when we were playing with these things because we thought it was in the norm.
And the little girl is probably innocent too. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know what that ATSD does.
No idea.
And like I said, and those are the nuances in this show. And if you pay attention, you notice those kind of thing, and it brings it back to you going like, man, I played with army men. I had guns. I had all
I had little tanks, you know what I mean? All that
of course.
Bro, I had army men, I had tanks. I watched Bugs Bunny not knowing that this motherfucker was violent. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't know that those cartoons back in the day were violent as shit. But I watched it because I thought it was funny. Yosemite Sam used to shoot and kill people, bro.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it just, again, like those small little nuances about the galaxy and how they tie it into modern times when we're talking about, people who are undocumented at this particular point, and they're just kind of, they don't have visas. They don't, even like how dude ratted them out. Like that was kind of corny, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's self-preservation and self-survival in this particular galaxy right now. Like
actually, I don't think the guy ratted him out.
You don't think he did?
No, because I think he gives him a small smile. I think he was basically saying, "Oh, you ratted us out," so that they tried to think that you're not.
Okay.
So he's like, you ratted us out, but he gives like a little smile when he turns to look at him.
He did.
So they can think that he was that they were the only ones
there. Yeah.
Well, he's not. He's like, hey, this guy wasn't helping us. This guy ratted us out, and the Empire is like, that you did the right thing by ratting them out, but in reality, he was trying to help them.
He was.
But Peraza was like, you ratted us out, and da, basically trying to save him and his family.
Yeah.
So I thought that was
that seems like something Russell would do. Yes, you probably correct.
Oh yeah.
It was, bro. All in all, like the pushback, bro. Like again, with why
I don't understand what people want, Leo. I just don't get it.
Because
don't worry about what people don't like.
Exactly.
No, I'm just saying I don't get it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I just don't understand why people don't understand this is an adult Star Wars,
bro. It's the Star Wars and the fusion of Star Wars that is needed.
Yes,
like we need to see a story-driven, expansive galaxy. We need to basically see the mechanisms and the makings behind the scenes of how we got to a certain point, and that's the interesting part about it. You know what I mean? Like they've made so many different references to characters that we've even seen in Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they've made subtle references to tie this thing together. And I think that we're going to see more within this season. Hell, we haven't even gotten to Saul Guerrero and his take in it. You know what I mean? And they're already
story.
promising that there's
Yeah.
going to be there's going to be a lot of tragedies in this film. But
Yes.
again, I'm in this show. But bro, I maybe call me crazy, but it to me, as far as a Disney Plus show, it's the best that they've done.
It is
in general,
100%.
And here's the thing: is like you're setting a bar so high for this. Filoni, if you are listening, if you are watching, I know you're doing Ahsoka season 2, but you better make it better than season 1. Season 1 was good. Don't get me wrong. I love season 1. A lot of people didn't, but you can't take something like this and then falter with the next season or the next show. This has to be good, bro. I mean, whatever comes after this this is setting a high fucking bar where everybody in this particular show I'm just so connected to.
And listen, like when Rosario Dawson's on the stage, you know, she's telling you about how Star Wars has changed her life and how it's so welcoming and she loves being in this role. It's the same with Diego Luna. When he was sitting on the stage, he was like, you have no idea what this means to have you people pull me into this family and be here. And you can tell it was genuine. It's not even this phony.
That he means that.
He really appreciates that people love this character and this show.
And they're embracing
you know, it's good to see that people are passionate about it. And I like to see that. And like I said, I hope all these other new shows, like the Ryan Gosling show, I want it to be good because I want different things from the Star Wars universe. It can't always be about Jedi and the Rebels. We all know it's one thing: good versus evil. That's all it's about. That's all it's ever been about.
You can't have Vader slicing up people in the hallway every single.
But I would like to see it.
That's what I was saying.
I'm sure he's gonna choke a few people out. You know.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind seeing it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want them to forget about the Jedi.
No. They won't.
Nah, they don't. They won't. But I again, I think in the end, like I said, these are the stories that we need to see. We've always complained about not seeing the inner workings of the Empire and how torturous they can actually be. We've only heard the stories. Now we're seeing them.
Yes,
we're getting the full visual of how things look, you know, these massacres, like the complete massacres.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's an experience. It's something that's welcomed. I don't know, but again, we live in a space where there's going to be complaints just about everything, and it doesn't really matter. This
finally showing the side of the rebels that I don't think a lot of people ever thought about. No. You got to blow up a facility that has your own people in it. You got to blow that up. You gotta kill. You know, the people wasn't thinking about all that. Oh, the rebels are the good guys. No, they had to get their hands dirty and bloody. So
people working in that facility aren't all evil. Is the thing. The people working in that facility are just going to work.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. It's teaching. It's more so about occupation. Yep. This is an occupation. Like, how many of us have worked for a job that we've questioned?
Yep.
You're questioning your position in these, but it's an occupation. We don't like. I just work. Like when people say, "Yo, I just work here." Really, I just work here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just to do a job. I don't know what else that they're doing. Like, don't blame me if they, you know, and somebody will be like, "Well, you chose to work. I got to get paid. I got a family."
Yeah.
And some of the people are working in positions by force.
Yeah.
Yes,
they are. They're forced based on their talents. Galen Erso, you know what I mean? Is forced to work, or families are threatened. You know what I mean? So,
including Jedi.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're taking as babies. They don't know what they're doing either.
Yeah. That was the kind of that's really hard to hear, but that was surprising to hear. You know that. You know, they're just snatching up kids and, you know, you're going to be a Jedi. This is what you're going to do. You know,
there you go.
You had no choice.
Go ahead, Timmy. I guess you're a Jedi now. Bye.
But I wonder what happened if you didn't make it as a Jedi. What'd they do to you?
They sent you back home at 8. Like, I didn't make it home. I suck.
Like it's.
I couldn't lift the rock.
You know what I mean? Like that. Bro, I love the again, because what it's showing us is there's some aspects of the rebellion, or there's a lot of aspects of the rebellion that we see. It's kind of flipping things, upside down, because we're seeing questionable actions in the rebellion that can rattle. It's like almost radicalizing the entire regime itself, to where you're like, yo, you're no better than this particular side. We're seeing a side of the empire where it's like, okay, these people are working, but again, there are certain things, because we know that, like you said, Deidre doesn't want to do half the shit that they want her to do. She's there to do a job. She's not, half that shit she doesn't stand up for at all. She doesn't want to take these positions, but they're like, hey, take it as a win. Yeah, I mean,
and Dedra knows that when everything's said and done, and when history books are written, it's not necessarily that she's on the wrong side or anything like that, but she knows that her name is going to be the one associated with the destruction of the best millenary company in the galaxy, and like she's going to be known as the person who killed all those people, and after they destroy everything. That's what she's going to be known for. She knows it's not going to be some big victory and that she's going to look good after this. She knows that.
Yeah.
She has like a very strong sense of justice, like she grew up her parents were criminals.
Yeah.
And so she grew up in an imperial kinderblock. So she grew up under like imperial indoctrination. Yeah. And so it's no wonder that she went into law enforcement, and she has this idea of justice. But then seeing what they were talking about in that meeting, she's like, well, this is just evil.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. This isn't justice. She sees that. She sees this is not justice. But these are not like, it's not like we're going after rebels, which are essentially terrorists.
Yeah.
No, this is, you want minerals, and you just said you want the minerals, the resources of this planet, and you're willing to destabilize the planet to do it. And you're trying to plan how to do it. It's like, that's not justice.
Yeah.
So, and what my question about Deidre is that, your parents were criminals and you were put in a school for, become an empire, working for the empire. What made her go question why this is not good? Why are we destroying these things? Why are we destroying these people? What made her turn that way when she was indoctrinated and raised to believe that what the empire was doing was right? You see what I'm saying? So maybe she found out about her parents were maybe unjustly accused, and who knows? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, what's interesting about your comment, Torbor, is that promo reel that they played made the people seem really nice. Like, why would you want to hurt these people?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but, nobody's gonna want to do this job. You showed the wrong video.
Yeah, exactly. You sure did.
Screw you guys.
The travel brochure video.
Yeah, but see, there's one thing I agree with though. Because I was watching the video and I was like, everything was cool until you showed them big ass spiders. Blow that planet up. Blow that planet up. Blow it up. Blow it up. Because there is no way I would go to that planet off. Blow it up. Them big ass spiders. Destroy it.
Those were some big ass spiders though. You ain't
and they were walking around smiling with the motherfuckers on the blow. I was like, yo, are you serious?
Leia would have hopped in the nearest Star Destroyer and just yelled, prepare for orbital bombardment.
It's just a billion spiders.
Not just and just imagine them things lay eggs and they spread. There's no way I want to go to that planet, so I don't mind. Deidre was probably saw that shit, was like, yo, I don't want this.
No, I'm out. I'll see y'all later.
I don't want no parts. I really
transport leaving.
I want no parts. Hell no. The things were. Was that Dirk Diggler? Were those the same spiders that was in Mandalorian? No, they were different.
These were different spiders.
these things were actually spiders. He said, Lael having Australia flashbacks. You damn right. Hell no. Burn that thing, man. Burn that planet. Like, I would have been cool with it before they showed the spiders. I'd have been, those people seem super nice. Oh, hold up. They holding spiders. Blow that shit up. Blow that shit up straight up right now. Targeting range.
The destruction of the planet, and Lael's going to be like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Kill it with fire.
Put me on Death Star gunner detail, bro.
Thanks. Now we got access to the resources. Leo's be like, There's resources. Oh, I was just trying to get the fucking spot.
And now you know why we're building the Death Star for this,
bro. Death Star gunner, put me on that detail. I will blow every planet up that has some big ass spiders, bro. It's a wrap. I don't want hell no. Too many in my day. Them motherfuckers spread. What resources do we need on that planet? Like literally, what do we need? Like, you know what I mean? What you trying to basically make a civilization? You want to actually no, hell no. I don't need an occupation down there. I don't need any type of post. Don't send me over there, Uncle Keith. This ain't the military. I am not going. No setting up camp, no bases. Nope. I don't want to be stationed on that planet.
Sometimes you gotta go AWOL.
Exactly. I will go. All it takes is me to see one of the big ass spiders, bro. I'm out.
I do. I love this show. This show.
I love it, bro. I love every bit of it because again, it's the refreshing sense of. And the only thing the only thing I hate about it is that it has to end.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that the young lady who was dating the other young lady driving that guy around at the end? What was like?
Oh, I think she's gonna bump.
She's gonna kill him.
Yeah, she's gonna kill that guy.
She's gonna kill him.
Yeah, she was giving her the high sign to take him.
That's out. So here's the thing. That's Luthen set that up.
Yeah,
Luthen set that up for her to be the driver because remember she was like, I don't know.
And remember, he asked, "Where's the other driver at?"
That was a hit.
And she said, "Oh, she can't come today. She can't do the driving today." Yeah, he's a done deal.
Once he shoots it, yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Yo, they did everything but have the doors comically lock when she got in.
Exactly.
That's the only thing they left out.
Because it was funny. The funny part about it is she looked at him. She was smiling when he got on, and her girl was in there. She was like,
"Yep, it's over."
It's like,
it was comically evil. It was
bro. Like, and then the next thing you see the girl sitting there like, "Yo, I just saw." You know what I mean? It's a wrap. Yeah.
Wherever he thought he was going to, he ain't gonna make it.
Yeah. It was driver's going like this. let me out.
He ain't making
it. It's like a contingency plan. And that's the thing is Luthen is always a step ahead. And you know what it almost feels like? It feels like everybody's been saying. Luthen is grooming Mon Mothma to make the decisions that she is unable to make. Like he's trying to make her see that. Look, if you are stepping into you have to get your dress in them hands dirty. You don't have a choice.
But it is enjoyable seeing her every once in a while. She's like, "Oh, what is he doing here?"
Yeah.
What are they at the wedding of all places?
Like you know what I mean? Like as if he doesn't. He's gonna always show up. It is like when she's asking him questions, he's like, "Oh, it's a surprise." Playing that shit off.
Exactly, it's a surprise. It's like your surprises. Or you see him work in the room. What was he talking to that one officer, the Imperial officer, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're planning to leave. I think Steerguard," and he's like, "Oh, where are they going?"
Yeah,
just casual. Oh, where are you going?
Exactly, bro.
Luthen is the rebellion's Palpatine, like. Legit.
He is
Luthen that no one knows about, and he's orchestrating all the shit.
Yeah, bro, and he's doing it in plain sight.
Great point.
He's switching between personalities. He has everybody strategically placed, and I think at this particular point, there's a level. So he can't trust her to do the job that she's supposed to do.
No.
So that's why he's gonna always be there. And the chick that is his right hand man, she's communicating. She's just as lethal as him.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
you don't, bro, because she'll kill you in a minute. Like she don't care.
Leia showed up to the wedding in like her normal clothes, and I'm like, why did she even Luthen had the common sense to like get dappered up a bit, but Leia's just like in her Stone Cold uniform.
Yeah.
She went back to the office or the shop, and she had to reach out to Andor.
Yeah.
And then she got cut off. What did you guys think about that when the signal broke off?
Well, remember she said that the signal was being jammed.
It was jammed.
Everywhere
she
else.
told him to stay in place. She was like, "Just stay there, don't move." But as soon as she mentioned that planet was compromised and she was telling him not to go back, Andor was like, "Oh, nah, I'm out."
They got her. So
yeah, he was like, "Nah, I'm out."
Happen to her, yeah.
That was it. It was a wrap. And if he didn't get there in time, then who knows what have actually happened to Bix and everyone else. So again, it was a sacrifice in the point that, but at the same time, he's going to come across some of these sacrifices some of these things where he is going to have to make a sacrifice. There's no choice in this space, especially if you're trying to get the job done. Like that's the thing, is the stakes are so high on this show on both sides, and they're showing you it's not just about good versus evil. It's a political game, like warfare, and it's a war of attrition and words between these characters. Like it's like everybody in it is only almost damn near looking out for their own best interest. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way it is. Like when we're looking at it from our point of view, who, like, just watching the show, who can you honestly trust? Because if you say Bix, PTSD, she might end up shooting you, thinking that you somebody else.
No. I'm thinking about how would you make Andor the board game? Like what stages would you put in it? And
like a clue game. Like,
who's who and what's going on?
Who can you trust? Who would you want to assert power? Like, you know what I mean? Who would you give the wrong level of power to, and how would they manipulate that shit? Oh, hell no. Because I know damn well if there was a board game and it was all of us playing, I will never trust X, because I know he's going to try to insert it. I will not trust him, bro, because I know he's going to get too
called out.
He's too calm and too smart for the fucking game, bro. I'm like, nope, I don't trust him. You're not going to swindle me out of that shit with that smooth ass talk. Hell no, don't that shit.
It's like listening, like the Daredevil when he listens to your heartbeat.
Yeah, bro.
You listen to X, it's like, damn, nothing going on with it.
Well, it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. Aren't we having a good time? We're having a good time.
No, see, that's some bullshit, bro.
There are no winners or losers.
Hey, X got a ticket to the Spider Planet for you, Leo.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Like, straight up. Hey, look, you won't be down there too long. Don't worry. It's not going to be a permanent placement.
Exactly. We got a nice little house over on the hill for you. Don't worry about it.
Straight up. Oh, man. You can only imagine setting up a game like this. Oh, hell no. Hell nah. But no, man, like I said, again, I love where it's going. And we're only in the first 3 episodes. Like, literally. I cannot wait till next Tuesday. Like it, but I get it. Like when people are, well, no, because you're still getting, look, every, and they have to do it this way because each individual segment, every 3 episode or every 3, all 3 episodes are episodic, especially it's like a movie. It's filtered out like an actual movie. Yep. So it's the first 3 episodes. It's moving on to the second year. So you're getting like an entire trilogy in one season.
Yeah.
I like it.
Building up until like the end of it when we know they're running into row. So here's my question though. I'm only saying this because it's wishful thinking. So just go with me here. Uncle Keith, probably where I'm going.
I know exactly where you're
going. Man.
You want it to be, I can see it. It's a glow about you. And it's like, I want it to be true so badly that it has to be. I know what you're about to say.
Will we see Jenna Urso by the please, man, please, just give it to me just one time, man.
Young Jenna Urso.
Leo, you know what?
When Saw has to leave her behind with the loaded blaster.
Yeah.
You might see young Jen. I mean, well, actually, no, you wouldn't see young Jen Urso because it's like
you would see her as a teenager.
So you're 5 years prior.
Yeah, it's possible. So see, but look, they're jumping year by year. So maybe she will be the older version.
Is that her?
I was hoping to see like Days and Chirrut.
Is she in the poster that's up here?
No.
She's not. You're sure?
I don't.
Nah, because that's what's her name? Not Deidre. It's what is her name?
Right here. The one over here.
Yeah, that's the one that was at the wedding.
Yeah.
Who saw her girlfriend on it? Yeah.
You're saying that's. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the one that was actually at the wedding. So yeah, she's not here, but I'm just saying you could be right. We could see her with Saul Guerrero. So we could see like a younger version of her. With Saul.
Yep.
I just want this shit to happen so bad, bro. I do.
And we might even see Galen.
Or we might see her get arrested as Leanna Halleck. Whatever fake name she was going by before
she
rebels found her.
Yeah,
nice.
So maybe it's like see her do something and see her get caught, and then
maybe
or
the mention of her, something's gonna happen. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna just let that go. I think she's gonna be pulled in some way by a mention or some kind of deed or something's gonna happen. Yeah.
Knows but won't tell her. So it seems Luthen has already set up that guy to be taken out. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's what it was.
He did that ultrally not so subtle bump against the guy in the party.
Yeah.
My whole family was shunned, and I've got so much tea to spill, but oops, I can't say anymore. What was that about? Does anybody know anything about this guy?
I don't know nothing about that guy.
No,
that guy, the guy with the dark hair.
Yeah.
That guy is, I believe, he's one of the people that helps Mon Mothma after she makes the speech at the Senate in Rebels. She needs to get the heck out of there.
He's the one. He's going to be part. Exactly.
Right. Got it.
So he's basically part of the team that kind of helps get her. Especially is going to help with the rescue itself as well. He's with her. Okay. So, yeah, he's going to end up being one of those individuals that we actually see. So, yeah, it's, again, the placement is definitely incredible here. But I can't wait till next Tuesday. I seriously cannot wait. This show is incredible. Anybody out there who's questioning, again, or wondering why it's a slow-paced show, it started out the same way last season. You just have to be patient for the build-up.
Yep.
Again, I think episode 4 is when it really started like hitting on all cylinders last season.
Yeah, that's the way it was when it kind of took off and we started seeing things progress. This is the same way they're doing it right now. But again, I like the slow build because I'm a dialogue-driven person. I like to hear what they're saying. I like to basically see how things are kind of moving, how they're moving from one scene to the other, how they're basically moving from one episode, how it kind of ties in cohesively. I need to hear that. You know what I mean? But again, people just, I don't know what the expectation is. It's hard to say.
My expectations have been met because you guys know I love Coruscant and anything that has to do with the Mothmas and that whole scale of people, the senators, and their busy social schedules. And I already know that everything's going to go to hell. But Mon Mothma, she sure did have that beautiful wedding. I mean, I will never forget that celebration. And we got to see Chandlerling culture in it and different practices, and it was just wonderful to see them enjoying themselves. And they sure know how to have a beautiful party for them.
Oh hell yeah, they know how to party in a minute, bro. Like straight up.
We all know that if you were there, you would have been at that party. We know that.
I know, right? I know.
All day.
We already know that.
Thank you so much, scoreboard. Thank you. Goodness gracious. I did the same thing.
There's no doubt in my mind you would have been there.
All day.
Gosh, I've already got the proper.
We don't know that
you got it. Yeah, I know you do.
We don't actually know that she wasn't. Like, scan that crowd.
He said something.
Thank you.
Yo, would have been like, they would have been like, yo, you want a drink? She'd have been like, nah, give me the tray. Just give me the tray.
I'm completely ready to go. I would have, if I wasn't invited, I totally would have crashed that wedding.
Crashed the party. All right.
But I do have to say, I do like the way that they presented her family and the politics that reflect what's going on and how there's the back and forth of currying favor and
it was perfect. It was perfect.
The only thing missing from the wedding was, obviously the emperor, but I mean, I don't know whether he would he have crashed this wedding? Was he invited?
I don't know if they were that high up on
Yeah,
the chain for him to be there?
I would think
Imagine. Okay, yeah. I guess they are.
Because
They're the ruling class. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they're that basically and there it's the funding. And again, like those classes and the credits. Remember, like last season when again, a lot of these classes actually had credits invested. So when they were stolen, remember when Mom was talking and that whole Senate was cleared out?
That's right.
Yeah, bro. They all have a stake. Like they're the richest of the rich. And that's why, like I said, they were all gathered there strategically supporting this wedding. So again, a decision had to be made. That's why, yeah.
Okay.
And Luthen is there to see it through and see that she sees that through. You know what I mean? So it's some tough shit, bro. Like and it can only get worse for me.
it's gonna get some folks getting ready to die here in the next episode.
Oh yeah.
A lot of folks.
Yeah, some people about to die, and before she goes, Bix is gonna get her lick in. She's getting her lick on that.
No doubt about that.
It's what I mean. Like she's definitely gonna get her lick in, and I know she's waiting for it. And the build up for it is basically there because of the PTSD, because of the assault that she experienced.
Yeah,
she's just looking for a break, and that's making her hate the Empire even more.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You're seeing that hatred like that. What'd you say?
What's the kid's name? God, what's the kid's name?
Oh, the one that was running through the field.
The one that basically, his speeder gave it away.
My man.
Yeah, but
he told him not to go out there, but he did it anyway.
He was the one who chucked a handmade incendiary device at the end of the season 1, and now this guy who's, hey, look, I found a girlfriend, only to then have Brazo killed because of him.
Exactly.
You could just see him become more and more like radicalized as time goes on. So I could see how he would very easily fall in with
Wilma.
There we go.
Have like a real a regular bike to just pedal out there or something, or to take the speeder,
Yeah, I don't know. I just know damn well he cleared that field quick. He must want a 4.8 or 4.4. he was
moving.
He cleared that field, boy. Like nonstop. His cardio was on point. But you shouldn't have went out there trying to get some cheeks. Last minute cheeks. You should have just hit the speeder.
They were so close too.
Yeah, bro. Like, hide your speeder next time, bro. Or just say, have her meet you halfway.
Yeah.
Meet you halfway, bro.
That silo thing on the
Maybe
top.
by the silo. Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
All right. There.
By the silo.
Yeah. Just be like, yo, so we gotta go. This might be the last time I see you, right?
No. She would be like, so you're gonna call me? He's like, yeah, sure, baby.
Well, didn't you hear the transmissions are being jammed all over the system? I can't call you nowhere. We got to do this now.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, man. But yeah, I again, I can watch this. I'm gonna probably watch this shit again.
Oh, I am. I'm gonna watch it again.
I might watch this shit tonight because I ain't gonna else to do, but I just love it so much.
Why not?
And I cannot wait. And even it's when a show is so good that you already know what's gonna happen in the end. You know where we're headed, but you don't care.
No. You want to see how we get there. You want to see it. You want to see it. Yep.
He said last minute cheeks has ruined so many lives.
No lie. That ain't no lie.
No lies told, bro. Last minute cheeks. How many times? Just think about it. Last minute cheeks got you in trouble in so many different ways. Last minute cheeks made you fall asleep at your girlfriend's house when her mom was at work and she comes home and finds some sneakers, your pants, and you in your drawers. That has basically happened. Last minute cheeks has gotten a lot of people in trouble. Yeah. So just watch out. And Vinny should know.
Man, you got me doing flashbacks.
Would you say, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing flashbacks. I'm
right.
thinking about some things.
Be like, wait a minute, it ain't Cheeks Wednesday. X ain't here. What's up? Like, but anyway, man, I cannot wait. Again, Andor season 2, episode 3 is currently out, or the first 3 episodes, 1, 2, and 3 are out right now on Disney Plus. Head on over there, watch it. Again, let us know what you think. We'll be back. We'll definitely be back next Thursday to talk about this even more, because I cannot wait to see whatever. Uncle Keith, you are always welcome back.
Yes, I know. And if what time did you start?
We normally start between 9:45 or 10 o'clock, because I try to give it some time for.
Okay.
For
I got you.
Yeah, because I know
segue over from a brother cousin show.
I try to give it some time to kind of whatever, and then wind down that we can have this discussion. But I cannot wait.
I will be here.
Definitely, man. You are definitely more than welcome to be here. Incredible panel, man. Like, I'm so glad to see. So X. Here's the thing. When I first said her name, I thought she purposely did that because I thought she was imitating a Wookiee.
See, that's what I thought too. Is that not
right? See, so I'm not the only one. That's what I thought. I thought that she was doing that because of Chewie. I didn't. Yeah. It was like, but she was like, no. And you know what? I still don't know. I still have no idea. That's the shitty part. But I just roll with it.
That's not it at all. I was like,
no,
really?
that's not
Are
it.
you sure? It's
not it.
That's good to see it. I'm really
like happy. I remember asking. I was like, "Did you do that because of Chewie?" She was like, "No." No. Anyway, so good to have you back here. Everybody on the panel, man. It's so good to basically have you back and do this again. Talking Star Wars once again. And next week is going to definitely be interesting, because not only are we talking about this, we are preparing for May the 4th, bro.
Yep.
May the 4th. So it's going to be a lot of happening next week that we're going to be talking about more so in detail. I did want to actually talk about Maul, but we're going to get to that next week, the Maul Shadow Lord, because they're introducing Talon. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be Darth Talon. How? Now they're going to, because here's the thing, you're introducing that character in animated form.
Exactly.
You are toning her down.
Big time.
Like literally toning that character down. That's going to be interesting to see. Like and she's Maul's apprentice.
Yep.
Who would have saw that coming, right? It's like, here's how this is going to go.
No one.
Isn't actually a Wookiee.
Still thinking about that one.
I'm just like,
I still got that rolling around his head.
I don't know. Up is down, left is right. Cats and dogs living together.
Yo, he's gonna think about that till next week. He'll be like, "Yo, it's a Wookiee name. I know what it is. It's a fucking Wookiee." It's gonna bug you, bro.
He's getting ready to put it in Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. What trying to figure it out.
Some AI. Tell me.
He's gonna get that response. Sorry, cannot find that source. Like, anyway, man, thank you guys for being there. Everybody out there, it's been such a great show. Vinny, what you got going on, man?
Just more prep for Fan Expo Philly. Next con I'll be working home away from home in Philly, so I'm looking forward to that. And other than that, just looking forward for Tuesday. 3 more ripped off for Andor. I'm still psyched that they're giving us to us in punches and bunches like that. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be hyped for that, and to get in here to break more down. We'll be in here on Monday, comic book talk with friends. Yes. More comic book news this week. So that's about it. Other than work, just juggling all that good stuff, and definitely glad to see all these smiling faces on the panel tonight. It was had some reunions, had some first timers, like awesome show.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Also, we're gonna be breaking down Tales of the Underworld too once that releases.
That's right.
Series.
Yeah.
All right.
So we definitely got that as well. But bro, thanks for being here. X, what's going on with you, brother?
Ooh, what's going on with? Well, let's see. Saturday, I'm seeing Revenge of the Sith at the theater. So 20th anniversary. So I get to see that on the big screen. Never get tired of that film. And then Sunday is Collector's Lounge, which I'm looking forward to. Wednesday is Cheeks Day.
Yes.
So say what? Say what on Cheeks Day, Wednesday.
Yes.
And then Thursday is Best of the Best, and then Thursday is Uncivilized Scoundrels.
Uncivilized Scoundrels. So you already know, man. It's so good to be back and talk about this because, and as promised, we also got to go back and revisit because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. I know Benny was wanting to talk about it as well. But we're going to actually go back and revisit Skeleton Crew as well because we didn't get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to talk about that. And
I had some questions about that too. A couple of questions I didn't understand, or if anybody knew the answers to. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is that they said that show was supposed to tie itself into even what was happening with Ahsoka, I believe.
Yeah, but I didn't see that.
So we'll definitely talk about that because I want to dive in because I do. It was good. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it, but the tie-in is where I was like, well, I don't think this ties into anything because it's its own. You know, they make a lot of close references.
Yeah.
But the only thing that ties itself into the Mandalorian are the pirates.
Yeah.
So that's it. But other than that, we'll definitely see. But yeah, bro, thanks for being here, X, as always. What's going on with you? What do you got going on?
Oh, I don't have much going on. I'll be here for the next Uncivilized Scoundrels.
Yes.
I'm so happy to be here with you all talking Star Wars, as you know, and thank you so much.
As always, appreciate it. And you, as always, are dressed for the occasion.
Yes.
Love basically seeing that. So after this, she's gonna go back to getting her rave on. Vinny, I'm gonna go back and scrub the actual scene to see if she might have.
Instead, forget Waldo. Where's
Be like,
of course.
Like pause it right there. Maybe not. Let me.
See my hair billowing, and you'll know it's
that's
me.
right. Her hair is flowing around. Yeah, that's it. She's right there.
Wait. Oh, fuck. Wait, am I the only one watching Thunderbolts next Thursday?
No.
Okay, so I think I may miss Best of the Best, but I will be here. Thank you, Ghetto Yoda. Thank you. Yes, I will miss Best of the Best, but I will be here.
As a matter of fact, Vinny, I got to check out the times, bro, because
it's going to be early. It's going to be.
I forgot about that. So let me check them times real quick, man. Let me check. Let me check because I forgot about the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it either. I
don't even think we created
Thunderbolts. It's like a sleeper. I keep forgetting about it myself.
Yeah, that is next Thursday. Okay, yes. Yeah, so we will definitely still be back here for Uncivilized because that starts at 7:00 next week.
Okay, yeah, got it.
So that's 7:00 next week, and we'll still be back. So we'll be, we'll definitely be back in time. Yeah, I can't wait. I forgot about the Thunderbolts. Let me get my tickets, man. Got to get my tickets for that, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ghetto Yoda. He said, wait, am I the only one?
Nah, you ain't the only one.
I forgot.
We just old. We just forgetting
shit. Man, we are forgetting shit. There's just so much basically out there to watch, man. So thank you for the reminder. But we will still be back here that evening for Uncivilized. So don't forget.
Yes, sir.
As always, Uncle Keith, man, thank you for being here. And Uncle Keith, thanks again for coming through, bro. Like definitely coming through with that Galen Urso. Now I can.
Yes, it'll be on his way. You got it, man. Don't even worry about that.
Oh man, I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. Thank you for being here, Uncle. As always, man.
And let me just say, I'm so happy to be here. This is my man Vinny. I couldn't wait. The man, I sometimes am astounded by his knowledge and the stuff, the detail that he puts in, and that's why he is one of my favorite people on the chat. Because I just love what he brings to the table. I love it, and of course,
thank you.
You're more than welcome, my man. And RM, come on, it's all about you. You know that. You know that. I'm so happy. Like I said, I know he is, and I am to see you here.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Like I said,
right where you need to be, man. Talking Star Wars, I knew it. Like,
yeah, we missed him.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely missed. You were definitely missed.
Press X, screw you.
Come on. Listen.
Okay.
I was yesterday.
She's like,
what are you talking about? I was talking about somebody else. I haven't seen over almost a year and a half. RM.
Your ex is an ass, bro.
Yeah.
It's been like 2020.
Yeah. So I haven't seen her in a long time.
I'm sitting here waiting for my turn. I'm like,
You got Vinny over there dying.
I'm next. I know I'm next. Come on.
Okay. Listen.
I'm next.
So listen. I love being here with Press X too. He's a great guy.
Oh, thank you.
He's a character, bro. He's a character.
I don't know what to do. I look forward to being with him on every show that I'm on. And when he's not there, it really upsets me to the bone, and it really bothers me, and I have to get counseling, and sometimes I might have to take a drink. But other than that, I love the guy.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Yo, come on, man. That was great.
You know who I like on this panel? Everyone with Press X. You're all really great people. Just go through and tell you how great you are.
Wow. That was hilarious, bro. That was hilarious. Anyway, everybody out there, thank you so much for another great episode. Everybody out there watching, again, tune in. We will be back here definitely next Thursday to continue our talk about Andor. Such a great season, such a great start to a season. Incredible.
Great show.
One thing I will say, though, before we leave, there ain't no way in hell you would make me eat rotten fruit that stinks. I would never do that, bro. And you can see that it was a soggy melon, bro.
Yeah.
They clearly didn't even walk like 10 feet away from the camp to look. Like,
no, they didn't even try.
No,
they didn't even try.
Nah.
It was crazy. Yo. I'm so glad they moved past them. They're the worst.
Yeah. I hope they don't revisit those bunch of knuckleheads.
No.
Yeah, bro. They were the Star Trek red shirts, bro. The ones
that
was gonna get picked off. They gotta go. They only exist in that one space. And that alien, that creature that came down and swiped down and ate them, or ate two of them at once. Yeah, that need to happen to all of them.
He should have kept going.
Yeah.
Hopefully he did. Hopefully he's just making his rounds. Like, keep going.
No, the hell I will not. No, the hell I will not.
You got two options. You either lick feet or
hell no.
Soggy melon. Feet.
I will starve.
Feet, soggy melon. And then, the third option is silence.
Look, where's the fan at, RM?
All right, it is actually here, so have no
fear. Said, doesn't her hair blow in the wind?
Yeah. All right, fine.
There you go. See, there you go.
There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh man, Leia watches 6 for Press X. Anyway, man, thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Tune in next week. We will definitely be back, same time, same channel, man. As always, if you don't do anything else, always stay uncivilized. We are out.
See ya.
So uncivilized.
Boom.